And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vacinda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that Multiclass is in. Tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy in the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope here at Plus One EXP is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way to do it is to sit down with those creators to play those games. I want to say this off the top. My voice doesn't hurt. It just sounds like this weekend. So don't stress for me. We had a great week at Gamma, the game manufacturers trade expo, hanging out with a bunch of other great folks, including our good friends over at Soul Muppet, a whole lot, along with meeting a ton of retailers and other cool people in the games industry. It was a blast, but I had a sinus infection the first 2 days and just wiped my voice out. Super excited to be playing today with an amazing crew of folks. Before we meet them, let's introduce you to our game runner and the games designer. Today, that's Chris from Bastionland Press. Chris, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about Mythic Bastionland.
I've spent so long preparing this mythical game to run. You're now asking me to talk about myself. This is like,
yeah,
catapulting me back into the real world.
All, Liege Lord Chris McDowall.
That's So my name's Chris McDowall. I publish games under Bastionland Press, and probably most well-known game of which is Mythic Bastionland. And I'm excited to come back and run it. I know we ran a game certainly with Tony way back before the game was sort of finished. So it's fun to sort of come full circle, and now that it's all out and published and complete, come back and run another game. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Let's meet our other players. We're going to go around as people see them on the screen. Let's go to Robin first. Robin, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and if you want to be found online, where they can find you.
Fantastic. Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. How's it all going? My name is Robin, Captain Trail on all things. My pronouns are primarily they, but if you see me at a Magic Gathering convention, he is fine. I don't really need that heat there. I'm mainly, the things that I do is being an AP performer. I am also one half of Dorkspawn, which is a video game podcast that I do with my best friend Dylan Napoleon, where we talk through choice-based story games. Like, it's a book club, such as the Dragon Age franchise we've done. We've just finished the Mass Effect franchise. We're in Fallout now. Basically, the primarily thing that I do is I've just finished a back-a-kit crowdfund for Rise Wizards, which is going to be my first big published game, which is a dice stacking wizard tower builder. So if you want more information on that, you can go find me anywhere that has social media. I'm Captain Crail on pretty much everything. But yes, that is me.
Awesome.
That is me, initial bitch.
Jazy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jazy, she, her. I do APs. I have written for multiple, mostly CFB, mostly over at the Gauntlet. I cannot be found online. I am too enigmatic for that, and also too lazy to start social media accounts after I have evacuated all the let's say the ones that have seen their past, their prime disappear. But I'm very excited to be here and play this particular game. I absolutely adore anything that has to do with knights.
Awesome. Love it. Glad. And coming back, I'm not going to say stream guest favorite because I don't want to make anyone else jealous. But B, same questions.
Wow. Hello, everyone. I'm B, they, them, and you can find me everywhere at Sassy Lich. Yes, like the undead thing. That feels like the first time it's been appropriate, and maybe the audience knows what I'm talking about with the night game. I don't know. It just feels right. I'm really excited to be here. I'm primarily an actor. You can find me in podcasts, Screaming and Dying, sometimes screaming and dying in APs, and sometimes screaming quietly to myself while I write for games and try to understand the rules. So yeah, that's me. I'm jazzed to be here.
Awesome. We always use a couple different tools on stream because we play with different people. We play different games all the time. Want everybody to feel comfortable. Those tools are lines, veils, the X and O card, and the open door policy here on Plus One. Lines and veils. Lines are things that may happen in the world of the game, but they don't happen while we play it. They are things that are firmly off limits during play. Veils are things that may come up in play, but we treat them in a certain way or mention them and move on. We always have a strong line against sexual violence and sexual coercion here on the channel, but we leave everything else open to discussion amongst the players. Does anybody have any other lines or veils they want to add as we start our game today? Cool. Veils, if anything else comes up, we have the X card for that. So if there's a moment where something does make you uncomfortable or there's just confusion and you need something clarified, you can say X or type X into our chat. We'll pause the game, identify what the issue is. We may update our lines and veils, but we'll move forward in a different direction. The O card is just like the opposite of that. You can make the O sign with your hands or type O in, and it just means I'm really into what's happening right now. Please keep going. This is great. Then the open door policy means that we're all real people with real world needs happening around us. We may need to talk to somebody off screen, get up for just a second. We will take breaks as we go along. You should take breaks and take care of yourself also. Do any of y'all have any questions about any of those tools that we're going to be in use today? Cool. Awesome. Well, with that said, then I'm going to hand things over to Chris to take us into Mythic Bastionland.
Okay, so Mythic Bastionland. We're going to discover a lot as we go, I think, is a good way to approach this. But the main thing that's important is the four of you are all knights. And as such, you have all taken an oath. And the oath is it's arguably like the most important thing about being a knight is it's a 3-part oath. And the 3, I'm going to ask you to recite this in a minute. So this is a good memory test. The 3 parts of the oath are to seek the myths, to honor the seers, and protect the realm. So after 3, we're going to see if, with all of the latency that we have, if we can say those 3 things together in unison after 3. So I'll give you them one more time. We have seek the myths, honor the seers, protect the realm. It's on the back of the book as well if you have it. Okay, so after 3. 1, 2, 3.
Seek the myths, honor the seers, protect the realm.
Perfect.
That didn't feel that dissequenced. It felt pretty good.
Yeah. We were totally in sync, I felt. That was
really I think good. That'll all just come together, yeah. You can fix that in post, Tony. We're not live, are we?
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah. So the meaning of these 3 things, myths are strange things that exist in this land, and in general, it's kind of it's very loosely like an early medieval kind of feel to this land, and the myths are stories and things that you may have heard about that seem to sort of emerge almost as knights go looking for them. And it could be things like a monster or just a weird thing that happens or an event or a place. So you've sworn to go and seek those out. These seers are the strange beings that knighted you and made you into knights. And you've sworn to honor the seers. And finally, you've sworn to protect the realm. And in this case, you have been sent by one of the seers. You have been sent to a new realm that the seers told you is in need of your intervention and your protection. It is a realm that is in some sort of trouble. But as always, the seers were very vague about this. So you have spent, we'll say you've probably spent like a little bit over a week traveling by river. And you've been heading to a realm that you've never been to before. And it's, like I say, it's taken maybe 10 days by river to get there from the realm that you were previously in. And if you look on the map, you can see that you will be arriving in the realm from the top right-hand corner. Sorry, the northeastern corner of the realm. Top right. It's so technical. And you are going to be in this hex here. Now, I won't go too far into the hex thing just yet. We'll learn that as we go. But one thing that's important to know to start with is that a hex on this map is a distance called a hex league, which is roughly the distance that you can see from the top of a hill. That's a hex. And it's generally, you can generally walk 2 hexes per day and then you can sleep. But before we get into actually traveling around the realm, it'd be good if we could introduce our knights, and I think we need to roll some virtues as well. So we've pre-rolled the knights, or pre-chosen the knights before the stream started. So what you need to do now is on your character sheets, you'll see you have 3 virtues. You have vigor, clarity, and spirit. I genuinely forgot the third one. Then there's 3 ability scores in this game. Vigor, clarity, and spirit. And you're going to roll D6 plus D12 for each of those down the line, and that will give you your score. So we'll do that, and then we'll do one final thing, and then we'll introduce our characters as you are arriving by boat into the realm.
And that amount is because we're baby knights, right?
Yeah, so you are all young knights. So you have been, you may have been knighted like within the last year, but you've yet to really achieve anything noteworthy. You have 0 glory. You're gloryless knights. But
Cool.
This is hopefully an opportunity for you to start to make a name for yourselves and live that oath that you took.
All right, I rolled definitively mid to bad, so I'm excited. Yeah, cool. Also, this beast that we have, beast, is that like just an animal that we have, or is that more a representation of like,
Is this a thing on your knight in particular? So you were the Halo Knight.
I was the Meteor Knight.
Sorry, not Halo, Meteor.
Beast is overgrown hawk. Do I have an overgrown hawk?
Oh no, sorry. You can ignore all that stuff at the bottom of the page. That's prompts for if you're running the game. So you can just flip to a random page and get a bunch of stuff.
That's
I
basically
feel bad though. Now I feel bad you don't have a hawk now. So you're gonna have to find your own hawk.
I'm gonna have to find my own hawk.
I will put one somewhere in this realm.
That's all the quest is about now, is just finding a hawk.
We'll get you a hawk.
Any
Don't
hawks
worry.
around? Yeah.
Separated from my hawk.
Well, if it's overgrown, then surely it's like an easy to find.
Yeah, I know. And you would think. I've been searching for this overgrown hawk for a long time.
And so when you've rolled your 3 virtues, the final roll you need to make is if you roll D6 for your guard. That's kind of like HP. It's your ability to not get hit. So
Okay.
1d6 for your guard. And don't worry if these scores are low, because it's very quick to make a new character when you die. So
And then armor would be cumulative from whatever equipment we have, correct?
yeah, so you'll have some armor in your equipment, and if generally every piece of armor is 1 armor. So if you have like a helm and a shield, that's 2 points of armor.
Oh, that's like,
If you have mail and plate and a helm, that's 3. You just add up the pieces of armor that you're wearing.
mhm.
And you'll also have a steed. That's something that's important, and you'll have an ability and some items, but we'll get to those as we go around. So is everyone kind of ready to introduce their characters? If you are struggling for a name, like I said, there are these prompts at the bottom of the pages, so feel free to pick one of those names. Pick a random page and go to name if you are struggling. Okay, so we'll go, if we can go clockwise from how you are on my screen, that would start with Tony.
Yeah, I am playing as the Reliquary Knight. Noble rest earned in life, final breath echoes ring. They live on, spurning death. I'm playing as Sir Crenshaw Reeve, the Reliquary Knight. I've got a war sickle, a sack of history tomes, and a treasured reliquary. My treasured reliquary is the hand of a deposed monarch. Once per day, I can bring forth that deposed monarch and give it a single specific command, and it'll act with the general capabilities of a normal human, except for to be invisible and immaterial. And I was knighted by the Predator Seer, an animalistic woman with a powerful body and sleek mane. Is that everything?
That's everything, yeah. So hang on, just to put you on the spot. So your hand of a deposed monarch.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out when that comes up. We'll find out who they are. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So fantastic. So we've got Sir Crenshaw. Is that right?
Yeah. Sir Crenshaw Reeve.
Crenshaw Reeve. Okay. Cool. Okay. B.
All right, I have rolled the Weaver Knight, and like Robin, I have also rolled mid to bad. So this is gonna be cool. This might be the one of many that I introduce. I took the name from the bottom of this page because I thought that would be more fun. So this is prior, the Weaver Knight. This and that might just be that, and this as now is Morrow, perfectly amiss. So they can warp and weft, which is swapping positions of things they can see. I have a horse that can sniff out fruit, which I'm obsessed with. I have a disc that I can throw at fleeing targets. It's bananas. I have my seer is an armored seer, which is just this great blocky mass of chains and iron that have this person's been interred in. It's very exciting.
Awesome. And I will say, these seers that knighted you, we can assume that they're back in the realm that you have come from, so they will probably not be here. And Tony, just to go back to Tony's for a second, I only just noticed, did you pick this one because it has a bearded steed?
Look, I'm not saying I wasn't excited about the bearded steed, but there is no bearded knight, so I need a bearded steed.
Yeah, as close as we got. Yeah. Awesome. So after that, Robin is next in my circle.
Hello. I am playing Clyde Crescent, the Meteor Knight. My property, I have an elaborate trident, which is made of blackened iron, so I can recall it to my hand if I see it, which is pretty cool. I have moon oil, which can render objects weightless. And I got a little limping steed. I was knighted by the Moonlit Seer, a glow of loosely human-shaped, exists under only moonlight, which is cool and fun.
Fantastic. And then finally, Jazy.
I will be playing Dame Dasom the Elusive, the Fox Knight, a whimsied world, a whirl, a crafty guise, the truth revealed as a sour surprise. Once per day, I can say I'm not actually here. I can declare myself to be an illusion and disperse into smoke. The real me is watching from a safe place nearby. I'm very excited for the chaos potential of that. I have a jagged blade, sealing wax, and a tunnel steed, which can see perfectly in the dark. And I was knighted by a needle seer.
Okay, cool. Right, I'm just making a quick note of all of these. I think I've got everything. So the virtues that
I rolled like a roller coaster. It was very good, bad, good again.
So yeah, so in case it's not entirely clear by the names, vigor is generally your physical sort of ability. Clarity is your kind of sharpness of mind and your sort of lucidity, and spirit is a more of a social thing, but also like your willpower and your internal kind of strength, I guess.
Cool.
And if any, they will go down as various things happen, and when they hit zero, it's usually bad. But we'll deal with that as it happens. It's probably not good. Okay, so you, as I said, you've been traveling for over a week on this boat into the realm along this river that you can see snaking into this realm. And the river, it started off. It's been a pretty smooth ride the whole way, but as you get into this hex here, entering into this realm, the river's kind of snaking into very thick woodland, and it's these very, very tall sort of pine trees and fir trees, sort of evergreen forest. And they're so tall, it's almost like a canopy that sort of almost covers over the river as you're sailing under it. And the river itself is getting narrower but more treacherous, and there's more rocks and rapids, and it's generally becoming a bit untenable to take this boat further down the river. Now, you're very welcome to continue to take this boat down the river, but everything you know about river travel suggests that would be a bad idea. So you are faced with a choice here of whether if you are going to dock up the boat and find somewhere that's safe to put it, you need to decide whether you're going to be on the north or the south side of the river. Now, you weren't sent here completely blind. You were sent here with this map. So this is a partial map of the realm. And you were advised that there is, you were to go to the seat of power, which is the main settlement of the realm. You were advised that would be a good place to start. And you were advised that the seat of power is on the coast of this inland sea that's in the center of the realm. So on your map, there's a large kind of almost X-shaped inland sea. And you were told that the seat of power is on the banks of that sea. Unfortunately, you weren't given any more information about that. So between you, you have a decision as to whether to continue sailing down this potentially treacherous river, which will be quicker but more dangerous, or whether you'd like to get off and travel on foot. And if so, which side do you want to be on?
I think we're going to want a boat, right? So even though it's a little more dangerous, when we get to the main inland, wait, I'm going to do this in character. Can I have poetic license about where I'm from?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, because I want to take a weird swing. All right, y'all. I know it might be a little treacherous, the route ahead, but I think it will be maybe a little more beneficial that when we get to the little inland lake, that we can sail around a little more free form than picking either north or south.
Robin, I'm going to take some creative license as well as revenge, I think. I need...
Yay!
We just got to figure out which United State each of us is from. That's the.
Oh no! Oh no!
Am I going to have to do
United
American accents
States.
for all of these NPCs?
I'm going to do Robin's accent.
Yeah, good. I'm in for it.
Works for me.
You want to sail around the entire, instead of on the coast where the city is.
Well, I just feel like I don't want to go on foot. I think when we get, here's the worst case scenario. We go north, we walk down. Dang, the place we're trying to get to is all the way on the south water. Damn, I wish we had a boat.
I suppose that is not the worst.
I mean, better to have the option and not need it than need the option and not have it, I feel like.
And that's very much where I'm living right now.
It's true. Nobody who lives near the coast is going to have a boat.
There we go. And that's true. Never a wiser word said.
We can probably assume that this boat that you traveled on, with your steeds, remember, we could probably assume that this boat that you're traveling on is light enough that you could probably, if you, I'm not telling you this is what you should do, but if you wanted to like moor up and then have
carry
like a rope, have a rope, and like no, you probably couldn't carry it because it's pretty big, but you could, I can't think what the word is, but like drag it down the river.
Yeah.
I suppose it would drag you, I guess, but you could try and do that, but it's, you know, the river's looking like it gets pretty wild.
That
Like
sounds
caravanning it.
interesting.
So I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
How much do we know this area? Do we know
We don't.
if it's like, but it's like what people like, oh yeah, there's a lot of like weird and strange beasts, or just like in this realm.
So you can, there's probably some assumptions that you could make based on the rest of the world that you know. So like I say, it's the world is largely wilderness. With a very few, I almost said points of light then, but that's going way back, with a few kind of points of civilization that are usually little more than like a walled fort or a little market town. Typically in a realm this size, you might expect there to be a handful of holdings, like between 1 and 6, let's say. And even any kind of holding that's going to be the seat of power will still only be like 1 hex. It's we're not talking cities here. These are essentially a castle with a wall and some people that live within the walls. So there's going to be a lot of wilderness and a lot of wildness, but you're used to this as knights. You haven't been told anything particular about this realm in terms of things to be careful for. It's not like there's a famous there's no myths that are so famous that they've made their story. The story's made their way all the way to you.
Fantastic.
But certainly asking some locals would be the way to find out.
All right. Well, I'm okay with taking a vote. If we're walking, I'm happy to caravan, but I'd like to go north. If I'm being honest, I don't know why, but it's calling out to me.
There is more coastline at the north if we were to split where it would be. If I, to look at the city. But I do think we should vote.
All right. So we have one of three choices, if I'm right. It's take the river, north, south. Those are our three options. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hands for just taking the river. Fantastic. There's two. Hands for taking north. Fantastic. All right. Nobody wants that.
Hold on. I'm gonna. I hold up another hand. It's the.
Wait.
I don't summon them. I just hold up the hand of a disposed monarch to
Does
break
that-
the tie.
Does that count as a vote?
Are you saying that they shouldn't have some form of agency?
Damn.
Just because they're dead?
You have me there. Never mind.
No,
That
you
is
got me there. All right, we'll go north then. That's fine. Thank you for the tiebreaker.
So you're mooring up the boat. I'm assuming you're going to just sort of tie it to something so it's secure in case you come back here.
Oh no, we're taking the boat.
Oh, so you're going to like sort of, I don't know this term, but like this happened last time we played. We needed to know what the name of the bit where the horses go in the.
I was gonna try to avoid that.
You keep making me learn like boat terminology for these.
that was the boats.
It's got to be some kind of aft castle. We don't have to know what the specific name of the. If you're in chat,
It's called boat roping. Yeah. So you're gonna boat rope.
Yeah, that can't be it.
The boat is going to be in the river, and you're going to have a rope attached to it, and try and sort of keep it with you as you travel along the bank of the river.
Correct.
Is that the idea?
So it'll lighten. We'll lighten the load out. We'll.
All right.
And I assume you're taking your steeds off the boat.
Yeah, I imagine we were probably putting the rope to the steeds in a way that is non-damaging to them and easy to detach.
Okay. So in that case, I'm assuming you're going to follow the river downstream towards the sea, presumably.
Yeah. And here's the deal: we can be on the north side doing this, so that everybody, best of all worlds.
That's it. So, so the way that travel works in Mythic Bastionland is there are 3 phases of the day. There is morning, afternoon, and night. And it's generally a bad idea to travel at night. You can do it, but it's going to take its toll on you. So if you're traveling by foot and you're not sort of pushing your horses to go as fast as possible, you can generally travel 1 hex per phase of the day. So are you going to spend the morning following the river downstream?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to move you down here, and I'm going to roll a die. Okay. And then I'm going to make another roll for something else.
Ominous.
Okay, so you're heading down the river, and like I say, this evergreen forest, it's like the canopy has become so thick now that you can barely kind of see the sunlight coming through. And it's tough work keeping the boat like safe and not having it drag the horses into the river, but you manage to do that. The river is getting significantly worse as you go. It's really sort of winding, and it's like whitewater rapids now at this point. And there's been a few times the boat's been kind of dented and bashed by this, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. But other than that, it's generally a safe phase of travel. So it is now in the afternoon, and you're continuing around the bend of this river. And yeah, what do you want to do this afternoon? Do you want to continue this way down?
Yeah, my fellow knights, I have a question. Do we not want to take the boat out of the water? If it's getting pretty treacherous regardless, the boat's going to get destroyed even if we're not on it. do we want to just moor it with us, and it may take us a little slower rather than having it walk through this?
Are you talking about dragging the boat on the land?
Yeah, because we're pulling it through the water, and the water's still treacherous. It's like, well, the boat might be destroyed even though we're walking.
I think it's more that it would be too heavy for you to pull on land. It's too big for that for sure. Yeah, it would be really tough going. And like we're in thick woods. There's sort of roots and stuff everywhere. It's
all right. That makes
I
sense.
love your brain though, that you were like, we gotta get this boat out of
We
the
gotta
water.
get this boat out of the
We
water.
gotta get this thing out of here.
We're not in it.
this thing is built for land. She's
She's beautiful
forest
land boat.
I think Dasom is like standing kind of like near the water, and I have a knife out, and I say we set the boat free. If it arrives, it arrives, and we'll take it there. And if not, well, it doesn't really matter because it's already pointless and useless to us right now. And I'll put my knife to the rope, but I,
mean,
don't
that's
start
such
cutting yet.
That's such a vibe. I also love how Chris was like, this was mildly difficult, and we're already like, no, let's
Abandon all
This
hope.
is our personality now. This boat is
nothing in your. There's
everything.
nothing in your oath about like boats and like
Yeah.
keeping boats safe.
I mean, honestly, like it will 100% probably beat us there. I kind of love if you love the boat, set it free as an idea.
Cool. Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Unless somebody protests, I put a single
it's
flower
really
in the
stop.
boat and I cut the rope.
I will secretly
wave
determine
at
the
it.
fate of the boat. Okay. And you see the boat bobbing down the river. It's going pretty fast because, like I say, it's pretty pretty rough water. But you see it kind of bob out, and it gets out of your sight. And when you last saw it, it was still bobbing along safely.
I put 2 coins in it just in case it meets Charon.
Just remember the rule on Chekhov's boat, Chris. You know, before the end of the game.
Well, I know what happened to the boat already. I don't want to lift the curtain too much, but
Well, I'm just saying, yeah.
I've seen the role, but
Yeah.
I will. It's your job to find that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got the afternoon now to travel. Like I said, you can gallop, which means you're going at twice the normal rate. But what that means is your steed is going to lose D6 vigor each time you do that, and then when your steed is at vigor 0, they are exhausted, so they can't go any further, and they're like not much use for combat or anything. So until they've had like a proper rest. So it's that can be handy, but it's probably best kept until you need to get somewhere really quickly.
Well, under my limping steed, it specifically says "won't be hurried." So I imagine that we tried to do a little gallop. It's like,
Yeah, everyone else can.
Let's go a little faster, and then my steed's like, "No, I'm not doing that. That's pointless." I was like, all right, sorry, guys.
So you're going to trek along at the same pace.
Yeah,
Okay, right.
quite embarrassing me in front of my friends.
And we are still following the river, though, correct?
Is that your plan to still follow the river?
I think still following the river, yeah.
Yeah. So you're staying on the north side
Yeah,
of the
we
river
just
here.
move like a little freer, technically a little faster, I guess, because we're not like pulling the boat along. A bit more of a comfortable ride now.
Yeah. Okay, so as you travel throughout the afternoon, the sun's starting to come down. I should have said it's the second week of spring, so the ground is still a little bit hard. There's still like a cool air, but you're coming out of the winter now. So there are the tiniest amount of life is starting to return, but you're in these evergreen woods anyway, so these feel very much the same as ever. And like I said, the canopy, it's still very hard to see what you're doing. But as you travel, you hear, well, to start with, the deeper you go, the further you travel, the canopy does start to open up. And eventually the forest is looking a little bit sparser as you're traveling along the river. You hear coming from sort of further into the woods, and away from the river, I should say, you hear suddenly like a loud scream. And it sounds like a child screaming, and then you hear two or three more children. You hear like loud laughing, and it sounds like they're screaming in laughter. and then you hear them sort of shush down, but you can hear there's some sort of group of children being loud and obnoxious over in the woods, laughing, that kind of stuff. It's horrible.
How dare they?
Evil.
Truly.
So you can't see them yet, but that's the sound that you can hear coming from within the woods. So it's up to you what you want to do with that.
I mean,
yeah.
No, go on. I was about to be like, if they're screaming, I mean, I know that it's in joy, but still, it's like, yeah, we can go say hi. We're nice.
Yeah, I mean, kids deep in the thick of the wood, unless they are near home. Like, I mean, as a child who spent plenty of time in the woods, no good choices were made. Sometimes no one got hurt. It was always fun.
Yeah.
But
This is a game where you could roll characters really fast. I mean, why is the red button there if I'm not supposed to press it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're going to sort of ride out towards the sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not far off our path, and like we're supposed to protect the realm.
Yeah.
Children are the realm, technically.
Children are the future.
The children are the future of the realm.
So you sort of ride a little bit closer, and you can make out that the woods have started to thin now, so it's looking more like kind of scattered trees amongst the hills. And there's the sign of what looks like a disused clay pit. There's like a sort of a relatively large quarry here, and sat at the base of this clay pit, you can see there is a woman, and she's holding a large pot up to these children. And she's kind of pointing to something on the pot. She's too far away for you to see too far away to hear what she's saying. She's speaking to them, but you can hear her talking to the children, pointing something on the pot. And every now and then the children will kind of like scream in laughter or like gasp. And it looks like she's maybe telling them a story. And there's like 4 children, but they sounded like 8 as you were approaching. That they're loud, raucous children. And they are listening to her, but they're also like occasionally like pushing each other over, going and pulling at her scarves and just generally messing around. And one of them probably sees you approaching actually at this point and kind of like points up from the base of this pit. And the other children sort of all look up at you. And the woman who's holding this pot just kind of turns to you slowly and looks up, and she kind of gestures for you to come down.
Now, we're in a magical realm. Is there any like stories of like sirens or like witches that trap people in story? Because the
probably
slow turn and they're talking to like this unbroken talking to kids with this clay pot. I'm like,
So there's stories about everything. That's the thing. There's
that's
what else is there to do in this time period?
Exactly.
You have almost certainly heard a story about someone trapping a child's soul in a jar, but you probably also heard a story about the benevolent potter who saved the world. So there's stories about everything. So, but there's no one thing here that's setting off like big alarm bells for you.
Fantastic. All right, ma'am. I'm gonna walk.
Yeah, well,
I'll walk over.
So you're riding down a little bit close enough to talk to them.
Yeah, you said, is it kind of like a quarry where it's like this? They are significantly further below us, or how deep down?
Well, you can get down. It's more like it's not a particularly deep pit, so you can sort of like get down there easily enough. So yeah, you can approach her. Who was going to speak to her?
That's like, does anybody feel like they're the face?
I don't know. I feel like we're all knights are generally all the face.
I get that we all are, but that doesn't mean that you don't have roles you fall into. I was just curious.
Sociable. We're all so sociable.
Yeah. I mean, unless anyone else is like excited to, or
no, go for it.
As we get close, ma'am.
She immediately puts her hand up and for you to stop.
Stop.
And she turns back to the children, and she's telling the children this story. And the children are, like I said, they're all enraptured by this story. And she's telling this story, and she says, with a creak and grind of time-worn wheel, a king of all is brought to kneel. and she's showing these. It's like a pot that's got like sort of like a story kind of painted on it in
cool.
images. And she's telling the story about the king of beasts and how no knight could ever slay the king of all beasts, but it was a potter who finally managed to defeat this king. And the children are listening, but they're also coming up and like tugging at your horses, like I was going to say rigging, but that's a ship. This stream is really showing my lack of language. What does a horse have? What's the straps and stuff?
The harnesses?
Yeah, like
stirrups, harnesses. Yeah.
So that they're pulling at that and like sort of like stroking the horse's manes. One of them's reaching. Where's your hand? Where's your like dead hand, Tony? Is it just hanging out?
Yeah, I do think it is like there's an encasement around it, but it's translucent. Like you can see that it's hanging there.
One of the kids is just kind of staring at that, like open mouthed. And that they're just generally like coming and pestering you and asking you questions, saying, "Are you knights? Are you here to try and kill the king of beasts?"
What's this king of beasts done?
And one of the children says, "You need to listen to the story."
What's your favorite bit of the story?
The child has already run off and is sat down cross-legged in front of the potter. And they're like, tell the story again.
I really have to listen to the whole thing.
Are you on your steeds at this point, or are you dismounting?
I'm getting off.
I've dismounted. I'm showing these kids all my cool gear. I've like turned full like circus artist. I'm juggling with knives. It's not advisable.
Well, we're going to use this. We're going to use this as an example of a very low stakes way to test to roll a saving throw. So if I ask you to roll a save, it's a D20, and you're trying to get equal or below whatever virtue you're rolling. So did you? I guess you're trying to like enamor yourself to these children, I guess. So that'll be a spirit save. So if you can roll a D20 equal or below your spirit.
I rolled a 5, which is indeed below my spirit.
Oh, that's great.
Perfect. So these kids are like, they are impressed, and they're like, whoa, they're impressed at all your gear. I guess who's got the most impressive horse, or the most impressive steed?
Not you. I'm sorry. I don't know. I've got my steed's probably just pretty nice. It's a fruit horse. It's just like a pretty bog standard little guy.
I think the bearded steed of
bearded
the Reliquary Knight is probably like the most like visually impressive.
Yeah.
So the children are also like, they're tugging at its beard, but like it's being like, I guess it's being quite patient with them.
Yeah. I'm still on top of it to keep it from moving around too much.
Yeah.
Can we see in the pot from where we're at now, or is it lidded?
No, it's like it's like a clay pot, maybe that big. And it looks like an empty, just an unpainted clay pot, other than these symbols that are kind of painted in black around it. As you get closer to take a look, the potter she lifts it to show it to you. And she says, knights, you must be familiar with this story. When the might of the knights could not defeat the king of beasts, and a humble potter was the only one who could push back a king from taking the realm.
We're from far away from here. This isn't a story I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
She kind of holds out the pot for you to take it if you wanted to take a closer look.
Yeah.
And looking at the pot, you can see the carvings show you got like little people. It's barely more than like stick figures really, but you can make out that there's like a parade of people. And then there's a large, what looks like a lion. And the lion is wearing a crown. And all of the people are bowing down to the lion. And then in the next row, you can see the lion is standing over what looks like a bunch of dead figures in armor. Mm-hmm. And then in the final row of the pot, you can see the lion. The crown is on the ground. The lion is cowering, and there is a potter with a potter's wheel making a pot. And the potter says to you, "Take that with you. It might be useful for you."
Much obliged.
Thank you. May I ask how the potter did this?
Well, you take some clay, you slap it down on the wheel,
No,
and then
no, friend. How
she laughs
this...
like she knows that was the troll. And she said, "Oh well, unfortunately, that's I'm sure you wouldn't. I'm sure a knight would not give away all their trade secrets, and a potter can't give away all of theirs."
This is fair. I suppose you are here if we need to defeat the King of Beasts.
That's right.
Called upon you, and
Of course, it's just a story. Of course.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Okay. So these kids are now that they've kind of lost interest in you now, and they're all sort of pushing each other over and starting to fight. So the potter gathering up her things, and she says, "Oh, we'll be heading home now. Do you knights need a place to stay for the night, or will you be sleeping in the wilderness?"
Oh, well, I'd never turn down a bed or a shelter above our heads.
Oh, I can't promise a bed, I'm afraid.
No, but
I can certainly offer. I can offer a shelter for sure.
Yes, we would be very grateful. Is there anything we could do for you in return?
Oh, just take the pot with you and spread the word to anyone that you see.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
So she sort of will beckon you over, and the kids are all running ahead, and you can see like at the end of this clay pit there are a few little, like 3 sort of wooden huts that have been kind of built here, and she sort of takes you in, and there's not really enough beds for you all, but that you can at least kind of all cram under a roof for the night, because you can sleep outside, but it's risky to do so in this world.
Yeah. And it's like it's still kind of damp because it's just broken into spring. So no, yeah, it's
yeah.
fine.
And while you're there, she'll give you a hot meal that she's made on like a little pot outside. She tells you her name's Nephib, and she lives here with a few other people who are away on business. She says, and she's looking after the children while they're away. Did you have any other business with her, or are you happy to fast forward through the night and get to the next day?
I think I would just like to ask her if she can give like better directions to the seat of power that we're trying to.
Very good idea.
Very, very good call.
So she explains that in this realm, the seat of power actually changes with each season. So there are 3 holdings, 3 castles. And there was a war or some issue generations ago, and since then the agreement was that the seat of power would move between these 3 castles as the year goes on. So there is a spring seat of power, a harvest seat of power, and a winter seat of power for the 3 seasons of this calendar. And at the moment it's spring, so the seat of power is in the holding which is called Awakening. So you're looking for Castle Awakening, and she tells you it's on the sea, and it's she says if you follow the river to the sea, then it is you follow the river down, and then follow this. She's explaining this better than me. Follow the river until you get to the sea, and then continue around the sea to the south. So she's kind of, from her direction, she's gesturing to like this corner over
Fantastic.
here.
Okay.
Like just after the mouth of this stream.
So we had to go north to get south is what I'm hearing right now. So.
But I'll tell you, I'm just going to put a note on this board for like the general area. I'm not saying this is where it is, but she's saying like somewhere here. somewhere around there.
That's where she pointed on our map.
Yeah, she said get to the mouth of the river and then go in that direction.
Classic.
She made like one of those like very huge circles that's just like banked up still.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for that. Is there any way, if we need to cross the river, that we can do so a little safer than wading? We may or may not have lost our boat. It's unsure yet. It's a bit of Schrodinger's boat is what we have. So I would love to just...
Well, this
Knowing
river
my heart
can
and
be...
soul that it's safe.
This river can be treacherous, and the river only gets worse the closer you get to the sea. And it's the only real safe way to cross. There is a bridge, sort of halfway down the river from here. There's a bridge somewhere, so you could cross that.
That's great. Okay, well, thank you very much.
That's great.
Yeah, your hospitality has been great. Thank you.
So she's also busy, looking after these kids.
Yeah, of course.
And she kind of generally leaves you to it, and you get like a decent night's sleep. Being inside is nice. And yeah, it's the following morning. So in fact, no, yeah, we're good. It is the following morning. So you wake up and setting foot outside. There is a drizzle in the air. There is a light rain, sort of just a haze of rain in the air. And it's a bit cloudier and mistier than it was yesterday, but it's not looking too bad. So what's the plan? Continue down the river?
Yeah.
I think it's head down the river and find the bridge specifically. Like, that's the goal.
Cool. So you are going to head in this direction. You wave goodbye to Potter. And like I say, it's a bit more annoying traveling in this weather, but it's not enough to cause any real problems. And so I'm making sure that I keep my paper map updated as well as the digital map, and it's more than my brain can handle. Okay, so yeah, you travel, and the morning is pretty much without too much incident, but the woods start to thin out, and you are now traveling over a sort of very dry, hilly landscape here, kind of heath and sort of scrubland. There are a few sparse trees, but it's now pretty open terrain. So you can see the shape of the river snaking to the south. And as you were warned, the river is not getting any better. It's sort of like whitewater rapids here, jagged rocks. You haven't yet seen like the wreck of a boat like washed up on the side, but it is looking kind of tricky.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that gets you through the morning. Is the plan to continue through the afternoon?
Yeah, no reason to dilly-dally.
Okay, so continuing the journey south, it's but the land does become a bit more verdant here, and sort of rolling grassy hills now. You can tell you're getting closer to water, and in fact, as you're riding over these hills, when you are on one of the higher points of a hill, just in the distance, you can just about make out the sea, like just right on the very edge of the horizon. So that would be like in the next hex. So you can't make out any details, but you can just about make out that the sea is indeed there. And there are, as you're traveling, you see further down the river than you, there is another group of people traveling. And you can see that they are, there's maybe 15 or so horses. It looks like there are like 3 riders, and they're leading a group of horses without riders. And they're trying to sort of herd them along, but it looks like they've stopped. And they're a little bit further down the river than you, but they can't seem to get these horses moving. So you could continue down the river and encounter them, or you could skirt around them if you wished.
We have to see, right?
Yeah.
We have to see what's stopping the horses. The button.
The button. Why are we here not to press these buttons? Yeah.
Plus,
let's
we
get
have
see
to
about these
stay
buttons.
along the river because we have to see if the boat's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to consider taking bets.
I mean, it's okay though. There's no reason to gamble because it's okay.
And it's actually fine.
We might die before the session is over, but that boat is okay.
Yeah,
That
boat's-
boat is fine.
So as you get closer to this group, you can hear they're trying to get these horses to go, but the horses just aren't moving. And as you get closer, you can see the horses are all bowing their heads. And some of them are even sort of trying to almost kneel. I guess horses can kneel. They're sort of getting down on their four legs and bowing, and they're all bowing in the same direction. They're all bowing. It's kind of roughly towards where you think the seat of power would be, roughly, in that kind of direction. And they're like pulling at their reins. They're giving them like a smack to try and get them to move. And the horses are just like, you can see they're like fighting against them, and they just want to bow in this direction. And they're yelling at these horses, and they're infuriated that they won't move. And yeah, as you said, there are three riders. There's a man who's up on his horse, and then there's a younger man and a younger woman who've gotten off their horse, and they're both trying to pull at the reins.
That's a good thing we just heard about the King of Beasts, then, I guess.
Yeah. Are the horses that the riders are on also bowing? Like,
No, those seem okay.
oh, okay. Weirder than
Yeah.
the other option.
Howdy, y'all. How y'all doing?
So
Having some trouble with the horses, I see.
Yeah, the man that's on the horse, he's like an older man. He kind of looks over to you and he says, "Knights, come here. Make yourselves useful.
All right, we're on our way. No need to yell.
We need to get these horses moving. These need to be at awakening yesterday."
Oh, well, we're going the same way, so that's exciting.
Well, we're going nowhere until these. And then he starts yelling at like the younger man who's trying to pull. And he's like, "Barnaby, get these horses moving."
Is everyone in that party on a horse?
So the three of them, the three people were all on horses, but two of them have gotten off to try and like get the other horses going. So there's 12, let's call them riderless horses that are being transported. And then there are the three horses that the people have been riding. And you actually notice that the 12 horses that are being transported are much bigger and stronger horses. They look like maybe like war horses or like chargers, whereas the three horses that the riders are riding are kind of your more bog standard riding horse.
And when were they off of their horses when we came up, or did they get off their horses as we were approaching?
We'll say two of them, they were already off by the time you got there.
But their horses are still acting normal.
Yeah, the riding horses seem to be acting normal, but the war horses are bowing.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Who has the piece of pottery that we got from the storyteller?
I do. I'll hand it over to you then.
Oh, fantastic. Looking over it, I know that there was, everyone kneeling. Was there something in the kind of written saga of, getting things to stand again?
So the three parts of the sort of icons that were on the pot, there was the lion like creature wearing the crown and everyone bowing to them.
Everyone bowing. Yeah.
Then there was the lion standing over what looks like a bunch of dead knights. And then the final part was the lion with the crown fallen off, and the lion is cowering away from the potter who's making something on their wheel.
Cool.
There weren't any people. Well, you know what? I think it probably makes sense. Let's say that in that final section, there were people stood behind the potter, kind of like upright, like celebratory.
Cool. Okay. Fantastic. Well,
I mean, she also did ask us to tell the story. Like, I'll walk, like, while you're holding it, I'll walk through the story with everybody. Like, do y'all know this tale? And kind of walk them through what I heard. Walk her through the way I saw her doing it with the children. Walk people through this narrative.
Or give me a spirit save, Tony.
I rolled a 5 under 14.
So at first, the older man on the horse looks at you a bit baffled, like, why are you trying to tell me a story when I'm trying to deal with this problem? But then, as you sort of get slightly further through it, he sort of turns to you and says, "Yeah, I remember that story. We were told that, but I don't remember anything about how to get horses moving that are refusing to get where they need to be. Have you got any ideas?"
I want to get to one of the horses that's kneeling. I want to get on its back and whisper the story in its ear.
So you're whispering to the horse.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that.
Let's make this a spirit save as well, just to see how the horse is going to respond.
That's a 12 under 16.
Perfect. So the horse, at first, it's like kind of resistant to you getting on its back, but it seems pretty, as long as it can bow, it seems pretty happy for you to get on its back. And as you're whispering this story, it kind of tosses and, fidgets a little bit. But you hear it kind of let out a kind of like a breath. And then it kind of holds still and bows for a moment. And then all of a sudden, all of the horses suddenly rear back up onto their feet, and they're kind of stamping around, and they look like they're ready to go.
That's great. That was really smart.
I'll do like a little bow, as if I'm tipping a cowboy hat that I do not have.
And these riders are, they're very impressed, and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much." You say you're heading to Awakening as well, is that right?
Yes.
We'll put in a good word for you with the boss.
Oh, thank you. Do you have a specific location for Awakening? We sort of just have a general area.
I show them the area we've circled on the map.
Well, you follow the river,
yes,
and then you'll need to cross, but you'll need to cross before you get to the sea, because it's the other side of the river. Cross when you get to the bridge, and then just keep going south. And then the younger man kind of perks up, and he says, "Yeah, good luck on the bridge." And then the old man looks down and shouts, "Barnaby, we don't talk about that."
What? No. Why don't we talk about that?
Ignore him. He's just a silly boy. Barnaby, get on your horse. And the younger man kind of sheepishly gets up and gets on.
Whoa. We're all going to the same place. Is there no chance that you could have a few tag-along strays coming with you?
Oh, absolutely. We'd appreciate it for sure.
Is that okay with us?
Absolutely.
And you hear the boy. He goes over to the younger woman, and he sort of says, "Oh, we're going to get a bit of a show then."
All right, I'm interested in this young boy.
Yes, I feel like we need to talk to this child.
Yeah, so the younger ones, they look like they're maybe 18, and the older man, I've just now done the maths and I've worked out the older man is about my age. So the older man is probably going to be like in his 40s. A decrepit old,
That's actually a good point. Do we have like approximate ages? Because my guy is like mid 50s. It's what I have written on my
Awesome.
older guy.
So by the book, I had you all as young knights, but I think we could say that he is perhaps young in spirit.
Yeah.
I was going to say young in spirit, or like I am a fresh knight. Like I'm young in young knight, and like I've been I'm kind of a little newer.
You're in
You
your
get,
second
like, the
phase of life.
midlife
Yeah.
crisis career change.
It's a true calling.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Incredible horse. Yeah.
you're going to follow the horse sort of wranglers, I guess. And they actually, as you get further down, you can see I'm assuming you're going to now travel with them
Correct.
for the next phase. So that was I've already lost track of the time. That was
night. So that was the second half of the day.
Yeah, that was afternoon. So it's actually going to be nighttime now. So you're going to be setting up camp and camping in the night, because they're not going to travel at night. You're very welcome to go traveling through the night, but if you're sticking together, I'm assuming you're going to set up camp together.
Yeah.
I think one of us should try to talk to Barnaby while we set up camp, away from who I assume is his father, who's going to not let him tell us stories.
Yeah, I mean, you make enough chit chat with them as you go through that you learn that he's the father of the two younger people, and they are obviously non-identical twins. There is two children. So yeah, while you're setting up camp, you're going to try and get a little moment to chat with Barnaby.
I think we should. Who wants to talk to this?
It sounds like you're volunteering.
Baby. Me?
Yeah.
Me or Robin?
Younger, cooler. Well, I don't think that they'll respect me, an old man.
The kids. Come on.
No, you go.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna just sort of like casually while we're setting up camp. You were saying something about the bridge earlier. What was it?
Give me a spirit save just to see his general attitude towards you.
Our first fail, guys. Because it's supposed to go under, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Equal or under.
It's a 19 for a 7.
So you try and sort of approach him coolly, and you ask him about the bridge, and he just kind of shuts you down. You see him kind of looking around like he doesn't want anyone to hear him talking about it, and he says, no, I think I was thinking of a different bridge. I was thinking of and he sort of gestures. There's another river on the other side of the realm. I was thinking of that. This bridge, it's fine. It's fine.
Are you sure?
And then he's like, "Oh, I've got to go and tend to the horses," and he's getting up to leave.
Bye. Okay.
And he's going to avoid you for the rest of the night. If he sees you coming, he'll hide behind a horse and pretend to be brushing it.
That's such a good reaction. The right reaction to Briar.
I think I'll settle up to you and be like, it's all right. It's more fun if it's a surprise anyway.
I suppose so.
Yeah. Well, if the boy says that there's nothing to worry about, then maybe there's nothing to worry
absolutely
about.
something to worry about. I mean, if you're prone to worrying, which I don't think you should be, but there's absolutely something weird going on with that bridge.
Okay, so the night is, I assuming you're going to take turns keeping watch, and it's generally uneventful. The rain is getting a little bit worse, so you're kind of sat out in the rain, watching the fire, hearing the sort of the roaring river, and the river is really like roaring now. It's it almost feels like it's getting louder as the night goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And each of you has a quiet watch, and then as the sun comes up in the morning, you can see the younger woman has already ridden off, and she's coming back, and she's reporting back, and you hear the family talking, and the older man comes over and says, there's the river ahead. It's broken its banks. It's flooded out, so we're going to have to take a slightly different route. I think it's safer to go to the coast and down the coast until we get to the bridge. That's the route we'll be taking. You're welcome to take your chances with the flood.
No, that sounds great.
All
so you're going to follow him down?
Yeah.
I think we should. It seems bananas
That
not
could have been our
to.
moment to reunite with the boat, though.
Can I see if that's like if they're telling the truth or if she's trying to this to look like she's hiding something?
Ooh.
So
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, just give me just a straight D6 roll, because I'm assuming if you could find like a vantage point around here, you could sort of have a good look without needing to travel all the way down there.
It's a 6.
Perfect. So there's lots of hills around here, so you're able to get up and get a clear view, and it does indeed look like the river is, it looks like it's flooded ahead. It's unclear what's happened, but it definitely looks like it would be difficult to travel. It'd be difficult to follow the river down further. It looks like it would be safe to go down by the coast.
Then down the coast it is.
Mhm.
So you travel down the coast. The rain it's continuing. The sky now is just completely kind of this pearlescent grey cloud coverage. No sign of blue left. Any sort of sign of spring, any kind of spring energy that you had is slowly getting sapped away by this weather. And as you're getting closer to the shore, to the coast, I should say, you're traveling as part of a group with these kind of wranglers, and
Mhm.
as you're traveling on some of the sort of steeper slope of like scrubland, you can see a hunched figure with like a sort of brown shawl over them, and sort of like foraging around in amongst all these thorns. And you can hear a woman's voice, and she's just kind of slowly muttering to herself as she rummages through these thorns. The riders, they just ignore her. They just carry on going past. What would you like to do?
I mean, it's a button.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I was about to say we all know what the.
You give us a weird little person.
Yeah.
God.
We're like such video game nights. Just like, oh, is that a question mark
Like,
on
what is
the
that?
map?
What is that?
I was just about to say
Let's
we
go
keep
check it
seeing people
out.
with question marks over their head.
Who's going to approach her?
I will.
Yeah.
Okay, so Crenshaw, Relic Knight. As you get closer, are you going on your steed, or are
Yeah.
you dismounting?
Yeah, correct. No, I'll ride over. See.
You get a bit closer, and without even looking up, you can see that it looks like the figure of like an old woman, sort of rummaging around in these thorn bushes, and she kind of like, in a kind of husky voice, she says, "Knight, come down here, Knight. Something for you."
My best friend.
I'll hand the bridle of my steed to somebody next to me, and I'll hop down.
And you can see she's like grabbing these thorns and just going, and like she's pulling all the thorns off with her bare hand. She's got like this leathery old hand, and sort of stashing them in like a little pouch, and she's going down the next sort of thorn, and she sort of like shuffles over to you, and she takes your hand and she puts like a handful of these thorns. They're like little red thorns that have been collected. Like they're sharp, but it doesn't hurt to like hold them. And she sort of like leans in and she says, "You'll need these when the claw comes for you."
The claw.
Yes, the claw, the black lobster of the wood.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything I can do for you in return?
"You've done more than enough, Knight." And she sort of turns around and she gets back to, and you can hear she's muttering to herself a little song. She's singing, "Nasty Nethrin, Nane of Night, lain to life in Luma's light." And she's collecting these thorns, and she keeps going.
Cool.
Excellent. What did she say again?
I'll try and say it as clearly as I can, but it's mostly bullshit made up words.
Okay.
So, "Nasty Nethrin, Nane of Night, lain to life in Luma's light."
Cool.
So I made it very clear that was something significant by holding up a piece of paper and reading it from. But who knows? That could be anything.
Yeah.
That could mean nothing.
I'm enjoying your trying to transcribe this nonsense.
Yeah, right. Yeah, anybody who can't see, I have my list of like, hey, is this an omen color coded over here on the side?
Oh my god.
Night.
I'm just imagining this knight like trying to like getting back on his horse, like scribbling down, like trying to figure out what she's saying, writing it down in like a little scroll. Like that's what I imagine you're doing.
Yeah, like I'm just marginalia all around this map we've got.
Yeah, you're the one holding the map, just writing.
Was it
stuff
the
on
night
it.
lobster of the woods? Is that what she?
The black lobster of the
black
woods.
lobster of the woods.
Black lobster of the woods.
Do you come back and tell us this thing?
I mean, I don't think we were that far away.
Okay, good. I didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
if
yeah.
we
I
could.
mean, I assumed y'all were just right there.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay.
I certainly don't keep it a secret.
A lobster in the woods. That seems a bit dry.
Exciting.
I'm wondering if this awakening or the. All right, I have a bit of a theory about the Beast King. There's so many different people talking about it, and the horse is kneeling. It's just setting
Yeah.
off some alarms. I'm wondering if it's no longer a lion, but maybe the king is taking on a new face.
Or
Maybe.
maybe it's a general.
That would be cool. I like that. Well, hey, listen, that's what you get for helping people. With all the thorns.
I think she just gave us some thorns.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them all in a little pouch.
But she said they'd help, so that's what you get.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then I guess as much as we can speed up. Robin, what's your character's name again?
My character's name is Clyde.
So speed up Sir Clyde's horse. We'll try to catch up with everybody.
Yeah, I mean they're a little bit slower just because they have so many horses, and it's taking them a bit longer to sort of weave their way through. Like I said, there's no roads here. You're just kind of making trails as you go.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, so you've kind of hit the coast now of the inland sea, and it's big enough that you can just. In fact, no, you can't. You can just barely see into the next hex. So all you can see out is just sea. Although your map suggests that there is an island out there, at least, not too far away. And on a clear day, you may be able to just see that cropping up over the horizon. But at the moment, it's rubbish weather. And so, yeah, the riders, they recommend that you follow the coast for the rest of the day. Are you happy to continue to follow them?
Yep.
Absolutely.
And they actually tell you that they sort of advise. They say, oh, so if we follow for the rest of the day and if we set up camp along the coast, then the next morning we'll be able to go to the bridge.
Fantastic. Cool. Okay.
Love that.
Right. So you set up camp again, and is anyone going to try and talk to anyone as you're making camp, as you're eating for the night? I mean, I think Pryor and Barnaby, like he's still avoiding you.
I'm not talking. I'm not going to try anybody now. I think Pryor's like, you know what? I think it's somebody else's job.
I kind of want to talk to the father. Just more of a casual conversation of like hey, I'm sorry. I know that we kind of keep stopping to help out other people, like that old lady earlier. If we're slowing you down at all, I don't want to be a hassle. I really appreciate y'all, helping us out and giving us directions. But if we're overstaying our welcome, I'm happy for in the morning for us to leave.
No, he seems pretty happy, and he's like, oh no, it's good to have some protection. You never know. Dangerous times, dangerous places.
Sure.
And it's always a pleasure to travel alongside some knights, although it's been a long time since we had any new knights come to the realm.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
Well, there's been and he sort of like, you see him pause for a second and think about what he's about to say. He said, well, there's been conflict between the knights that are here. I guess maybe other knights don't want to come because they fear they're going to get dragged into the bickerings of the different knights and rulers in this realm.
Right. We heard a lot about this Beast King.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a story, right?
Sure. Yeah, but so are all kings and legends, ain't they? Just stories? Or they turn into stories? I mean,
Well,
all of your horses were when we met you, all your horses were bowing toward the castle. That's not normal.
oh, that's just horses. Horses act weird all the time.
All right, I guess.
There's the things I've seen horses do. It would shock you if I told you.
Hey, I believe you.
Have you ever
smart
seen a
man.
horse dance?
I have not.
Play some music, get 12 horses, one of them will dance.
Wow. Oh, fantastic.
Every
See?
time. Can any of you play? Can any of you play or sing?
Oh, well, maybe. I'm going to
I
turn
can,
to...
but that won't stop me.
Yeah, there we go.
Do any of you have like an instrument or a drum or anything?
I don't, unfortunately.
Just
No,
books
no.
for me.
You can do the sound of one hand clapping though, Tony.
That's true.
I think with whilst we're setting, entertaining and trying to find some instruments, you're a far smarter man than us, sir. And I do have a question, just since you're knowledgeable about this area, just something that's been on my mind a little bit. This bridge has been eating at the back of my brain. What is it that we're going to be facing at all? I don't want to cause any harm to you and your family. I know that would be awful. So, if there's anything we can know ahead of time just to keep everyone safe.
So he kind of leans into you and he says, okay, will you promise to act surprised?
I will do whatever I need to make sure your family's safe.
Because we're not meant to tell anyone about this. But when a new traveler in the realm crosses the bridge, there's a kind of challenge. Nothing deadly, but I would try to go in, have a good breakfast, I would say, and a good night's sleep.
It's a physical challenge then, or a mental one? Because if it's a mental one, I fear I'll have to sit that one out.
Give me a spirit save if you're going to push him for more info.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, baby. I got a 7. My spirit's 13.
He sort of hesitates because he's like, look, if he sort of says, if people find out that I've told you about this, I could be in real trouble. But yeah, it's a physical challenge.
All right, fantastic.
And then he sort of like tries to change the subject rapidly. So he says, yeah, so horses, have you ever seen them dance?
Never seen a horse dance. I did some rearing in my youth, but I've never. Again, we must have been quite the. You seem to be a journeyman in your craft, so.
Well, I think we're putting the horses to bed now, but tomorrow morning, remind me, and we'll test it out.
Yes, I will do. Thank you so much.
Right.
Go on, you get off to sleep. Let me take this watch.
So it's the sun's gone down, and you've got the campers all set up now. The rain has started to ease a little bit now, thankfully. Let's just roll a die for this.
I just as everyone's going to bed, I just want to inform the rest of my group, my entourage, the party posse, that there will be a physical challenge, but we have to be surprised about it. Yeah, surprise and willing.
So you're taking turns taking watch throughout the night. We'll say that during sorry, Jazzy, your character, is it Dossum?
Dasom.
Dasom. How am I spelling that? Just so I can keep my notes up to date.
Dasom.
Dasom.
Got it. So during your watch, you're sort of the sky has started to clear a little bit now, and this is the first time you've seen a clear sky like all day. So you can just about make out a few of the stars in the sky, and the moon, which was previously completely clouded, the moon is now clear, and it's a crescent moon, but it's a very, very sharp looking crescent moon. You look at it and you're like, I don't think I've ever seen it look quite like that angle before. Like it looks very very pointed, and you know, it could just be that it's a particular phase of the moon, but it looks unusual. And you hear coming out of the woods some movement, from the woods sort of inland, of something moving through the trees.
I would like to see if I can get a closer look before I start waking everybody up.
Okay. I'm going to assume that you've got like a torch. And yeah, you're going to go out towards the woods. Give me a clarity save, please.
Absolutely. That is a 16 to a 16.
So that's a pass. That's a equal, but will be a pass.
Good, fantastic.
And as you're getting closer, the sort of the movement stops, and you sort of, I'm guessing you're not going to like go deep into the woods, so you're still pretty close to the camp.
I want to get like an idea of what it is to see if I need to wake people up or not.
And you move the torch, and you see something glisten, almost like it looks like armor, but it's completely black. And you can see a hunched creature, maybe slightly taller than you, but hunched and big and glistening in kind of what looks like black plate armor. And then it sort of emerges from behind the tree, and you can see it's this huge clawed creature of which you've never seen the likes before. And it has one huge claw sort of dragging across the ground as it starts to scutter towards you. What do you do? And when I say scutter, I mean aggressively scuttering towards you.
Yeah. I think what will happen is I'll walk out where it can see me to distract it. And when its claw comes like down and it like snaps right through me, it's just black smoke, as I would like to use my ability. Once per day, I can declare my current self to be an illusion, dispersing into smoke. The real you is watching from a safe place nearby, but I think the real me is like sprinting back to the others.
Well, the real you can be wherever you want to be.
Yeah,
so,
I think the idea is to like get this lobster to think there's a target to attack, so that it buys me time to get the others.
Cool. Well, I'll say that gives you more than enough time to have woken up the others. So by the time the lobster, the creature, snaps down on what it thinks is you, like I say, that image has kind of dispersed, and I'm guessing the four of you would be armed up and going towards this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It sounds like we're going to be going into combat. So,
cool.
A quick primer on how combat works. You don't have individual turns. You sort of are all going to, if you're attacking the same target, you're all going to roll together, and then only the single highest die is going to be used for damage. Any other dice that you can use the other dice in other ways. Any dice that show a 4 or higher, you can use to try and perform a gambit, which can be as simple as just what's called a bolster and adds +1 to the final damage. Or it can be something like trying to push something away, pull something towards you, to impair an enemy's weapon. I think, in fact, I think on the character sheets you've got, there's a little list at the bottom with gambits on there.
Cool.
So generally, you're all going to sort of roll dice together, use those dice to perform gambits, and then the single highest die remaining is going to be the damage that you cause. On top of that, there are a few feats that you can use, being knights. So, in fact, I should have said that the dice that you roll to attack with are just the dice that are listed for your weapons. So if you've got, like, say, an axe that does D8, and a shield that has D4, you would roll a D8 and a D4 together. You never add them together. You're always just using those dice individually.
Sure.
You have a few feats that you can use, but when you use a feat, it always works, but then you have to pass a save afterwards to avoid being fatigued. And when you are fatigued, you can't use any more feats for the rest of this combat. So the 3 feats are Smite, which means you can hit something extra hard, basically, and roll an extra D12. Focus, which you use after rolling the dice, and you can use that to perform a gambit without having to spend a die to do it. And finally, Deny is one that you can use in response to being attacked, and you can use Deny to remove an enemy die from their attack pool.
Cool.
So hopefully that makes sense. We'll we'll work our way through it as we go, because I know this is the first combat. But yeah, so this big hulking creature, it looks pretty big and tough and dangerous. What is the plan? Who is attacking it? And don't roll any dice yet, but am I right? Am I fair to assume that all 4 of you are going to try and attack this thing?
Maybe. Tony, remind me the name of your knight again, please.
I'm Crenshaw Reeve, Sir Crenshaw Reeve. You know, we could just make a little note in the mirror board with everybody's little things on. I'm going to do that right now.
Yay.
People can add their.
Because I think that Clyde is going to immediately turn to Crenshaw and like bellow about the thorns.
Yeah, you already see him fumbling for a little pouch.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I feel like maybe narratively what we're trying to do is the 3 of us are trying to set up an opening for Crenshaw to use the thorns.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, so you're trying to kind of you're trying to sort of get it into a position where Crenshaw can come in, and are you gonna like try and just literally throw the thorns at this thing?
That's a great question. I was going to spend a turn like trying to pay attention to how its plates connect, because that seems like the best.
Cool. Yeah, that's
so
a good
if other people are going to engage, that'll give me a turn to, I think, make a clarity roll to see if we can get a little bit more insight.
If you spend a whole turn observing it, I will just tell you some stuff about it.
Yeah. So I'm going to hold back with thorns in hand, but just spending the turn observing. I think how the plates interact, but just generally observing it to see how I think these thorns might best be deployed against this thing.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like the rest of you, this is going to involve some gambits. So if you're going to do some gambits, you still roll to attack as normal, and then we can spend those dice to perform gambits. So it's probably most straightforward if everyone takes any dice for equipment that they're using. So usually there will be 2, because you might have a thing in each hand. If you're unclear about what weapons you can wield, let me know. I'll quickly glance at your character as your knight now. So the reliquary knight. Oh well, you're not using your weapon. So
I have one. I have a D8 war sickle.
Sure. So the meteor knight, you have a trident, which is a long weapon. So that's the only weapon that you can use, and that's a D10.
Yeah.
So a long weapon is 2-handed. The weaver knight. I wish I'd put these in alphabetical order. That would have been would have been nice.
That's what second edition is going to be. It's just
just
alphabetical. No,
that's the only change. Yeah,
it's exactly the same. Yeah,
that's the only change, and it costs $10 more. Yeah.
Oh my god. I've got a disc, like a throwing disc, and a two-headed axe, and
so that hefty means it's like a one-handed weapon, but you can't use another weapon with it. But you can use your bronze buckler. So if you have your buckler and your axe, that will be D8 and D4, because you sort of attack with the shield as well. And then finally, the fox knight. What weapons do you have?
I have a jagged blade, D8 hefty, a buckler, and a hidden blade. And then I have a little table with that. I think, is that like I throw once and that's the hidden blade that I have, or I have all 6, and then depending on what I roll, I pull them out? in
Oh no, so that you have that's just for your hidden blade. So if you roll, well, let's do that now quickly. So if you roll 2d6 now, that will tell us what the ability is of your hidden blade and the design.
I have a 4 and a 5.
So it's a fang-like dagger, and its ability is it can split into 2 blades as needed. So it's one dagger, but it can go and you can make it into 2 as needed.
Love it.
But yeah, in terms of your attacking, you're probably using your jagged blade and your buckler.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll your attack dice, anyone who's attacking, and then we will go through how that works.
Fantastic.
Quick question. So this critter we're fighting, is this like a literal giant lobster creature, or is it like a person type thing in like dark armor? What's the vibe on that?
At the moment, it's not entirely clear. It certainly doesn't look like just a normal lobster, but big. Like it's scuttling around like upright, but kind of hunched. Your instinct is that it's like a big animal rather than it's a person in a lobster suit.
This is crucial.
But for now, it looks like an animal. Yeah.
All right.
But not a type of animal that you've seen before. Lobster is a good approximation, but it doesn't look exactly like a lobster. Yeah. Okay, so if you roll your dice, any dice that are a 4 or more, you can use as a gambit. So if we can do one of those successfully, then I think we will be able to get it into a position where Sir Crenshaw can run in and hit it with the thorns in future. So does anyone have a dice that rolled higher than 4+?
And the dice is our specific weapon dice. So
just your weapon, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, I did. Yeah.
So do we have one die higher than 4? Is that right? Between all
into the odd is just automatic hit. You're rolling damage, basically dice.
Yeah, this is just the damage roll. So if you want to use what did you roll? Sorry, Robin.
7.
7. So you could spend that 7 to try and perform a gambit to kind of, we'll say it's like holding this thing in place so that it's in position for the thorns, or you can just use that for straight up damage. It's up to you.
I think we've fought together before, and I think the roles we've kind of fallen in is that Clyde is a kind of like the control. It's a spear, a trident, so it's like distance, and it's like he makes sure that things are where people need things to be.
Yeah.
So I do think it's the gambit will be like stop. Clyde runs in because it's cool and my weapon can do this. I'm just gonna. Clyde runs in without weapon in hand, and then is going to recall it to their hand as they're running in, because aesthetically that's so hot, and that's what their weapon can do. So he's going to recall it to their hand, and then is like, whenever the lobster tries to move, Clyde is like throwing the weapon down to stop, and then is like moving and then summoning it back to their hand, and is like just fully stopping it, like
Nice.
being able to leave this small square that they've made.
Okay, so we've spent that die to attempt this gambit. The enemy does get a save. If you'd used a die that was 8 or higher, there's no save. That's called a strong gambit, but we're going to try a normal gambit. So I'm going to roll the creature's save, and you're doing this, you're keeping it in position well. And then one of the times you kind of try to recoil the trident, the creature's claw comes out and grabs the trident.
Hell yeah.
And you can see it's trying to sort of like cleave through the trident, but it can't quite manage it. And it's sort of like, instead it just kind of releases it. And the creature is starting to scuttle off towards the woods. It's trying to run away. Did you say that neither of the other
B
dice
said no. Jazzy, did you roll a 4 higher on anything?
No, but I would like to try a focus so I could do a gambit without the die.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd forgotten to even prompt that, so thank you for remembering that. So that means you do get to perform a gambit. So are you trying to do the same thing? You're trying to just stop it moving?
Yeah, I would like to stop it from moving.
And what does that look like for you?
I think like as this trident is like zipping all over the place, and you're trying to recall it, I think I'm sort of like doing that like crouch run under it. And I think I go like slide on my knees under its legs, and then I'm up behind it, and I'm like on the like the scales. I'm like running on it, and I think I just come down with my blade, like trying to pin it to the ground.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So you the creature fails its save. So you do manage to kind of pin it in place. And yeah, you're kind of on top of it and trying to sort of pin it down in place. Meanwhile, so Crenshaw, you're just observing, aren't you, to try and see what's going on. You can see that the plates are pretty much cover the whole creature. But I think in this kind of motion of holding it in place, there are obvious kind of gaps in the back of its plates. So there would be a gap if you wanted to throw the thorns into there, if that was what you were thinking.
That is what I'm thinking. Are we waiting till the next turn for that to happen, or just go ahead and do it after?
I think, yeah, technically it will be the next turn, and it means this guy's going to get a turn. So this lobster creature is going to now start raising its claws at boss. I can't internalize this name. Bassam. Yes, Bassam. So let me see what he does. That is a very fortunate roll. That's going to be 4 points of damage. So the way damage works in this is damage is first reduced by your armor score. So looking at the Fox Knight, I'm assuming that you had your helm and your buckler ready. So that's 2 points of armor. So that 4 gets reduced to 2. And then damage comes off your guard first. And then if you run out of guard, it starts to come off your vigor instead. And guard is very easy to get back. That comes back with like a minute's rest. But vigor is very hard to get back. And that represents actually being wounded. So what was your guard score?
My guard score is 4.
Okay, so you'll take 2 points of damage. So your guard is now down to 2. But you've essentially evaded the attack because you've still got guard. Your guard is still up, if you like.
Yeah,
so you've managed to kind of...
Like, trying to get me like
it's clawing at you,
and
your buckler just manages to hold it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Can I like use a deny and see if I can like take down that attack roll a little bit? Is that a thing that
you could have done that. Oh, and I forgot.
It says use after an attack roll against you or an ally within arm's reach.
Before we do this, I've forgotten, Jazy, that you used focus. So you need to make a clarity save to see if you become fatigued.
Cool.
It's a 15 to a 16, so I'm good.
So you're still fine. Sorry about that. So now we'll go back to B. So if you wanted to use a deny, you could. Just showing behind the curtain, I will tell you that the dice that the creature rolled were 4 and 3. So while you could use one to deny the 3, you could use one to deny the 4 and reduce it down to 3 damage. That's my advice would be that's maybe not a super good use of it, especially if you're going to end up becoming fatigued. And you can use multiple knights can use deny on the same attack, but you can only do it once each. So you could kind of all muck in and deny the attacks away. But at the moment, 2 points of damage, I would say, is not too bad.
Yeah,
you're not going to
die.
My
guard for now.
Oh, I didn't say that, but we'll see.
Well, right now
Not
you're
from
not
this
dying.
attack.
You're
No,
not
no, no.
dying.
Right now, you're not dying. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, my lifting the curtain would say I wouldn't use it just now.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the creature's turn. So it's back to the rest of you. So what's the plan? Are we going with the thorns?
Yeah, I am gonna because it had turned its back towards us, and they were off fighting it. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm in a good position to move up and toss the thorns into the works, as it were.
Okay. So because you kind of prepared for this, I think this, and because the creature is pinned in place, I think this is pretty straightforward. So you're going to run up and do that. And as the thorns hit the creature, until now, it's just been kind of making these clicky clacky noises as it kind of scutters around. And you hear a horrible scream coming from the creature. It sounds like a boiling kettle. And it's writhing in agony, and it sort of throws I'm guessing Bastum is still kind of on this creature, and it's kind of like it lashes out so much you're kind of thrown back to the ground, and it's now clawing at itself, and it's running as fast as it can towards the woods. And it's running. I would say it's running faster than a person, but slower than a horse. So, what do you want to do?
What's our MO as like a knighting party? Are we like, no, this thing has to go, or are we like, it's running away, it's fine?
I mean, this thing, my take, both as player and probably as character, would be this thing was pretty willing to sneak up on people and attack them right away in the middle of the night. It seems imminent danger. I wish we had more potentially like notes about this omen. We don't. What we know is nasty Nethwort, knave of night, something Loomer's light.
It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean,
yeah, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it seemed maybe like what does everybody think about like do we have Batman rules, or like do we kill stuff that's gonna hurt a lot of people? It seems
I mean, we can either way. We could follow it to see what it's gonna do, right? That just because we're following it doesn't mean we have to finish it. But then at least we know if it's gonna do more harm, or if it's lashing out, or if it hides, in a place that helps us further. So I would be for following, and then depending on what it does, we might.
I think both count under protecting the realm. It's like, yeah, we're protecting the realm by either stopping this thing. We're going to stop this thing regardless. We're stopping it either going to its house and after it's calmed down being like, listen, bud, you can't do that. Or we're going back to its house and being like, we're gonna kill you now. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Just a little intervention. You cannot be sneaking up on people in the night and trying to plot them to death. Okay, that's uncool.
Try to kill us because we're knights. That's fine, but
So it sounds like we're going to pursue this.
Okay, so you're going to kind of track. I mean, this thing's pretty big. It's not that difficult to like track where it's going. Are all four of you going on foot?
I'm happy to go on foot. Would anyone else? Is anyone else going back to like grab a
I'll
horse?
go.
Because
Y'all pursue. I'll go grab my steed and follow. If anybody else wants to.
I think I'll also go on my horse. That makes more sense to me.
All right. Well,
because my steed refuses to go fast, and I feel like it's like I will be slower if I run back and grab it.
Do you want to Gimli it? Do you want to be like put on someone else's horse?
Maybe. Anyways, yeah, I think maybe the idea is like you three run back. I'm keeping eyes on it, and then you're all going to be able to catch up to me. And I'm like, it's that way. I jump on someone's horse. Yeah,
I love that.
Okay, so everyone except Clyde is going back to get their steeds. Clyde, you're running on your own into the dark woods with a torch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no light or like there is the weird sharp moon, but it's not that good in terms of light.
Yeah.
You chase after this thing. You can still hear it screaming, so it's very easy to track it. And you can hear this kind of whistling, screaming going into the woods, and it starts to get louder as you realize you're catching up on it. And let me just roll one more die. Yeah, so after a few minutes of pursuit, before the others are able to get back to you on their steeds, you get close enough and you find the thing kind of hunched over in a clearing, and you can see it's still breathing, but it looks like it's just kind of writhing and twitching like a gigantic sort of dying bug. And there's no fight left in this thing. It's completely defeated, but it does seem to still be alive.
Bad.
Yeah, I think I'm dropping my spear again. I can summon it, so it's not like I'm completely unarmed. And then I want to like palm out, show that I'm not a threat right now. This thing is it was wearing a covering, right? Like a cloak when it first leapt out of us. Is that me?
No, it's just got like a black shell. So it's like
yeah, that's me making stuff up. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to communicate. I'm gonna be like, hey now, all right.
Okay,
As
give me a spirit save.
I'm slowly walking up to it. No, that's bad for me. That's 18 to the 13.
So getting closer to this thing, that the thing that looks apparent to you is that you get the sense that this thing is dying. Like it doesn't have long left. And as you get closer, even in its dying moments, it's sort of weakly trying to like claw at you. But there's like I say, it's really weak now.
Okay.
And yeah, there's not much that can be done. We'll say that after a few moments of kind of weakly trying to claw at you, it stops moving.
Yeah, I'm gonna just to have it not be being boiled alive is tough. After it's like trying to claw, I'm just gonna summon the spear and then I like find where its head is. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop this thing suffering.
So you put it out of its misery, and you notice up in the sky, you notice the clouds coming back over the moon. So where it was parted and you could see this weird sharp moon, was now the clouds are now sort of covered up over it. And when you look down, what was left of the creature has gone. Your spear is just in the ground.
Right.
It's better than what I thought it was gonna be. I was worried it was gonna be a guy.
And I guess the three of you, by the time you ride up, you would sort of see Sir Clyde just with their spear like in the ground. And
yeah, full staring up at the sky. You know, like I was knighted under the moonlight. I feel like it's a thing that me and Bassam, like we have this connection to like the stars and the moon. So it's a thing that we've talked about a lot. Quietly saying their oath under their breath. Wondering like, oh, was this thing and our oaths connected in some way or yeah. And you all arrive and then I kind of gesture to I imagine the ground is still a little ruffled, like something was there.
Oh yeah, there's signs that it was there, but there's no blood or anything like that. But there's clearly like disturbance amongst the sort of foliage and stuff. Yeah.
I gestured to it. It didn't last very long, but it points up to the clouds covering the moon.
In fact, the one thing that would be there, sorry, I should say, is I guess the thorns would still be there. So the thorn, there are some of those red thorns are scattered across the ground.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that you had enough of them that you've still got some. So don't worry about like gathering them back up.
It seems that the sky had other plans for it.
So it just did it go up or
it just kind of left. Was moved away from here.
Strange.
It is. I'm not quite sure the significance right now, but
Well, at least it isn't suffering or causing any suffering.
no, it seemed. I pointing at the spear. The second that it left this coil, it seemed its physical body joined it.
Well,
we can hope that regardless of where it is, that it won't be a danger to the people here anymore.
I would hope not. That's I look up. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I was going to cut you off, but go ahead.
No, can we see? So the weird moon's totally like not visible now.
The clouds are now back over, so you can see like the vague light of the moon through the clouds, but you can't make out the shape of the moon anymore.
Okay, then that was the only thing I was going to be like, that's suspicious. Gonna ask the moon people, but they'll know stuff.
Sure. So I'm guessing you're going to go back to the camp and try and get some sleep for the rest of the night. Unfortunately, because you've had a disturbed night's sleep, you're all going to lose D6 clarity. So your clarity is going to go down by D6.
Okay.
Ooh,
Let me know if it hits 0, but other than that, it's just more annoying for you. And clarity is restored by either getting guidance from a seer or consuming some stimulant. So if you can do either of those things, that'll bring your clarity back. Assuming you're going back to the camp and you're going to sleep as you can for the rest of the night. Out of character, are we able to have a short?
Yeah, I was going to say. I was going to suggest a post lobster break. We are going to be back in about 5 minutes to keep on playing Mythic Bastionland.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
And we are back to keep on playing in part 1 of our Mythic Bastionland adventure. Just a shout out, because we realized it while we were on break. Daylight savings time happens in the U.S. tomorrow. Doesn't happen everywhere. Doesn't even happen everywhere in the U.S. If you, so we are playing at 10 a.m. Eastern time, East Coast U.S., which is the same time as we started today, kind of, depending on where you live. So just
cosmically the same time.
So just check. Check based on where you are. If you live on the East Coast or in the United States, it's generally speaking the same time, depending on what, unless you're in one of the states that doesn't do daylight savings time because you're smart. But that said, yeah, be aware of that as we go back into to play.
Okay, so it's the following morning. You kind of wake up, but I guess your sleep was just the adrenaline probably took a while to come back down. So none of you has had a particularly good night's sleep. I will say maybe out of the others, I think the old man probably just slept through, but the 2 younger ones were kind of woken up by the screaming noises coming from the woods.
Yeah.
But were able to sort of get some sleep afterwards. Reassured, I guess, by the fact that knights were here to protect them.
Yeah, I'm glad we were.
So
considering I was the night before, like, we can leave if you want us to, and they're like, no, it's fine. And
it is a bit suspicious, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next day, let me just get the weather report. So as the morning comes around, the sort of pearlescent grey sky has turned darker, and there is even the odd faint rumbling in the distance, the rumbling of thunder, but no rain currently. And the group are they're up and they're ready to go, and they're kind of leading you towards where they tell you the bridge is going to be. And they say that they expect that if we set off in the morning, we should get to the bridge for the afternoon. Are you happy to go ahead in that direction?
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll. Okay. So you are now heading away from the river. Away from the sea, back towards the river. And eventually you can hear the sound of the rushing water of the river as you get closer. And the river is still rushing here. It's but the river has grown wider still. So it's, I don't know, let's say it's 40 yards. No, that's really far. Let's say it's 30 yards wide. So it's a pretty wide river, but you can easily see the other side. And it's rough water, so it would be difficult to cross any other way. And there is one of the few bits of civilization you've seen on your journey over the last few days, a white stone bridge, just a low sort of straight bridge going straight across the river. It's relatively broad. You could probably ride 3 horses wide across this bridge. And yeah, as you get closer to there, the old man sort of comes to you and says, in fact, he looks to Clyde, and he says, I think it'd be best if we go first. And he sort of gives you a knowing look.
Yep, after you.
So they kind of lead the horses along the bridge, and you can see them trotting off. And then they get to the other end, and they're on the other side of the other bank, and you see them kind of settle the horses down. And Barnaby in particular, Barnaby jumps off his horse and he climbs up a tree, and you can see he's like leaning on the branch of the tree to get a good view to watch you cross the river.
All right.
Who's going first?
Yeah, I'm happy to, unless anyone else is excited.
Yeah.
No.
Please, after you.
All right.
Okay.
We'll do.
I'm
So-
practicing my surprise face.
Mhm.
So Clyde, you are riding across the bridge. It's a very solid white stone bridge. And as you are getting sort of towards, in fact, it's just as you're getting on the bridge, you see on the other side of the bridge there is a figure that you didn't see before. It's not one of the group that was with you. Sort of riding up on a horse, and he dismounts from his horse, and he is walking along the bridge in the opposite direction in your direction. And
Fantastic.
as you get closer, it looks like you're going to kind of meet at the midpoint, and he's kind of strolling up. And as you get closer, you can make out the figure of a pretty tall, pretty jacked looking man. He's got like a male kind of skirt, like chainmail kind of skirt, and a male coat kind of pulled down over one shoulder. And he's got a big axe he's carrying over his shoulder, and he's got a magnificent mustache. And he kind of strolls up. And you can see he pulls off his back. He's got a shield made of kind of jagged metal. And as you are getting closer, he sort of bangs on his shield and he says, "Knight, to cross the bridge, you've got to pass the test. Get down here."
Whoa. Now, hang on now. We're just here to pass calmly. We don't need any rough.
We're on the same team. We're on the same team, good night, but there is a test. The seers have deemed it so. Did you not swear to honor the seers?
I did. All right. Gets off the horse. And then goes toward him.
You go towards him. He throws down his axe and his shield to the ground with a clatter. And are you carrying your weapons?
Yeah, I'll be carrying the spear.
Well, I guess you're always dropping your spear and retrieving it constantly. So
but yeah, if he okay, let's say that I don't have it as I'm approaching him, but him kind of dropping his axe and shield, I summon my spear to me, and then I drop it in a This is a knight's code. I'm showing you I can do this, and I'm not gonna trick you with this here.
Okay. So he steps forward and he puts out both his hands like that, and he says, "Let's see your strength, son."
Oh damn! It
Are you
has
gonna-
been a while since
Are you going to meet his hands?
Yeah.
As you sort of meet his hands, what's your vigor score?
9. Not great.
So you immediately feel the strength of this guy. This guy's pretty strong. Not like supernaturally so, but he's he's a strong guy.
Very much in prime still. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's sort of, with a heft, he goes, "Oof," and he pulls you closer so that your chests bang together and his mouth is right next to your ear. And he says, "What's the saddest thing that's ever happened to you?"
The realm that I'm originally from. I've lived a long life, and I had a family. I had a nice. It was comfortable. I didn't have to adventure or travel anywhere. One night when I was this is before I took the oath. My realm had been was swept away, taken over by an unrelenting force of evil. Every part of my farm and my life was taken from me. The only thing that was able to be saved is my steed. Points toward the horse. Rode as fast as it could to get me out, but after the many nights that we rode, ended up getting quite injured. It's the only last thing I have of home.
He's listening along and he's like, it's a sad story, that. He kind of releases his grip and steps back from you, and he reaches down to his axe and he says, right, first blood then, yeah?
Summons the spear, bows after you.
You're going to let him take the first swing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, he'll do that then. He won't hesitate. So he swings this big axe at you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make a roll. And he is going to smite. So you see him sort of pulling back with all of his force, and with a grunt, he takes a big...
Now, can I,
swing.
in response to a smite, deny?
You can. So you would do that after having seen the rolls.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool.
So he... sorry, bear with me.
No, that's so good.
He sort of swings this axe down at you, and his rolls are a 9 and a 1. So if you wanted to, you could deny the 9.
I'd love to deny the 9.
So because this is your first feat, that's going to happen automatically. So I guess you're going to like parry this blow aside, this sort of crushing blow as it comes down, and give me a spirit save after using your deny to see if you become fatigued.
No, I love it. And we're rolling under.
Equal or under your spirit.
Yeah, easy. That's a 5, but my spirit is 13.
Cool. So you're not fatigued, so you can continue to use feats. So that the 1 remains. What armor are you wearing? You have like a coat, don't you?
I have a bronze. Yeah, I have a. Oh gosh, where is it? I do. I have a bronze.
Is it 1 armor?
It's 1 brass mail. That's it, not bronze. Yeah,
and you don't have a helm or anything like that.
Nope.
No. So you're on armor 1. Okay. Okay. So that 1 that you rolled will get reduced to 0. So you're not going to take any damage. So you kind of, I guess, you kind of deflect the blow aside, and maybe the axe just kind of catches a link of your mail. Yeah. And kind of like sends a spark out into the air. And now it's your turn.
Fantastic. Let's go for a let's be going for a swing here.
So you could decide if you wanted to smite or not. Remember, after you smite, it's a vigor save to see if you become fatigued.
My vigor sucks. You know what? Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Let's go for it.
Okay, go for it.
I'm trying to like prove myself to this guy. So I now is it I roll 2? Oh no.
Yeah. So you roll the D10. Is it from your weapon?
A D10, and then also a
D12. Yeah, and you could use. Remember, whichever one you don't use for damage, you can use to do a gambit. If it's 4 or higher.
Fantastic. Amazing. I rolled a 9 and a 5.
Oh. So aside from anything else, if you wanted to, you could use the 5 to bolster it to bolster the 9 up to a 10 if you wanted to do 10 damage. But this guy is gonna try and deny one of those.
Fantastic.
So he's going to parry aside the 9 that you rolled. So that is gone. I'm just going to check now to see how he's getting on. He does not roll well. So he parries that aside, and he sort of like ducks under the blow, the first blow at least.
Yeah.
And you can see he was slightly taken aback by this. He was slightly surprised, and he looks. You can see the fatigue coming from him. So he is now fatigued.
Yeah. With the I swing at him. He's surprised by it, dodges out the way. I then like move my hand placement to where he is and then summon the spear back into my hand for the second hit. And then I am also exhausted by that as I rolled a 13 for the 9 on the vigor roll. So both of us immediately exhaust each other by... It's just like this weird flurry of like summoning and resummoning and his like huge swings at me.
So what was the remaining die that you had? Sorry?
It was a 5. It was
a 5, so that's going to be 5 minus his armor. Okay, so he is there. So he's still. It doesn't manage to wound him. So you've worn down his guard a bit. He steps back.
With the fact it's a 5, I can't use that for a gambit.
So you could use that for a gambit instead of doing damage.
Oh, instead of doing damage.
Yeah. So when you use the die for a gambit, you spend it. So you could be like, I want to try and. Knock him off the bridge.
Like,
I want to try and.
Oh, I love that. Actually, that's a great. That feels very like if I'm more of like a control person.
Yeah, we can say that you do that instead of doing the damage if you want. Sorry, you will attempt it at least.
I love that.
Yeah, I'd love to try and attempt to push him off the bridge.
Okay. Just before you commit to that, I will say it's going to be a vigor save on his part, and he's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's cooler though.
You're gonna try it. Yeah, we'll figure it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat this guy in just like a one-on-one straight fight. So I got to use my.
Well, he rolled so well on his save. You kind of like you get him and you go to push him, and it's like trying to push a statue. He just kind of goes. You feel him tense up, and he just kind of he slides back like an inch, but his body is like rock hard. Again, not supernaturally, just like.
Yeah,
he's very strong.
Do we think we're going for a? I know it's first blood, but
so in game terms, that would mean wounding someone.
Sure, but I'm like, if one of us falls off the bridge, does that also count as a thing? Because
that's for you to debate with him if you manage to push him off.
I love it. Okay.
But he is now going to come back and swing at you. So you're both fatigued. There's no more feats.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
So he's going to take a swing at you. As he sort of steps forward, he pulls up his shield, and he's going to come at you with both the shield and the axe now.
Cool.
And you can't deny this because it's you haven't got any more. You're fatigued, so that he's going to whack you for 4 points of damage. So that's minus your armor of 1, means it's 3 points of damage.
And I've got 5 guard, so I'm down to.
So you're still not wounded. Yeah, you do manage to evade that.
Guard is reduced. That's great. So I'm actually at 2 guard now.
At 2 guard now, but guard. Oh, I should have said guard comes back like basically as soon as the combat's over.
Yeah, a minute of rest.
Yeah. So B, I think you lost some guard previously, so you'll now be back at full guard.
That's awesome.
No. Sorry, it was Jazy. I can't remember. Someone lost some guard earlier. It's back now.
Okay, fantastic. Gosh, let's go. Let's just go for another swing. I mean, I'm trying to push this guy off the bridge. So
roll your weapon.
That's a 9, baby.
A 9. So that is actually you could use that for a gambit. So just to give you the choice here, you get the sense that would be enough damage to wound him. Certainly.
Cool.
You'd use it as damage. It's also enough to be a strong gambit, which means he wouldn't get a save against it. So you could definitely knock him off. So I think you've managed to get in a position where you know that you could trip him over into the water, or you can wound him quite nastily as well. So a choice there.
I think as we're like locked in this grip, you're gonna challenge each of us to a duel. Is that correct?
Just the first one.
Just the first? Oh.
Don't hold back on me now.
No, I'm just making sure. You don't need to be on this bridge then, and then I'm going to push him off the bridge.
So you sort of manage to knock him back. I guess you kind of like, he's tense, but he loses his balance, and he tumbles off into the... Remember how I told you it was really rough water and very rapidly flowing?
Yeah. Oh shit! I do remember.
And
it's too late now.
He is swept under the bridge, and you see him bobbing down the river. He's not knocked out. He's able to get to the top, and you can see him struggling to get to one of the banks.
As like I push him off, I think I then if there's like a collection of rocks that is, you know, if you were to grab onto it, you know, you would kind
Nice
of be
soft
safe.
rocks, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would then immediately jump and follow him, just because of the meteor knight. I never suffer damage whilst falling. So I just like, I want to very like softly fall on a place where I can put my spear out and then help pull him up into
So I guess if you knock him off the sort of the upstream side of the bridge, you would have time to hop back and sort of leap down onto some rocks.
And then
as you're the meteor knight, I'll say that works. And yeah, you're kind of like holding out your hand to him.
Yeah.
No, you're holding out the spear or your hand?
Hand or spear. If like he floats a little too far for me to reach personally, I'm going to be holding out the like softer end of the spear, so he's not grabbing blade.
Yeah.
If he's like within arm's reach, I'm just gonna reach for him.
So you kind of heft him up, you get him onto the rock, and he's kind of panting for breath. And so I guess you're both stood on these rocks now.
Yeah.
Make a clarity save, please.
Love it.
And it's against your current clarity, so it did get reduced tremendously.
I rolled a 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see him pull a dagger from his waist and try to bring it up just to kind of slash across you.
Oh, fantastic.
But I guess you at least step back enough.
I'm going to sidestep and let him fall back into the water.
So he uses step back and his swing, he falls back and he bobs down the river. And you can see he's going to try and scramble to the shore. But he kind of goes out of sight, certainly.
Oh, that's what I get for being noble, I guess. All right.
So you're gonna, and you can see over on the other side, Barnaby is watching from the tree and he's clapping.
Wow.
So I guess someone will sort of help you back up onto the bridge, and the bridge is now clear to cross. As you get to the other side of the river, the knight that you defeated, his steed is sort of just waiting on the other side of the bridge. Are you going to leave the steed there?
I wonder if the steed can go find him. I don't know how smart horses are. I feel like pretty smart.
Well, how smart is this horse? I do have a.
Horses are smart, but not necessarily always the go find person who an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of it's like a rusty coloured war horse. It looks kind of quite old, and it seems pretty set on staying by the bridge. It seems pretty well disciplined.
Well, if it's disciplined, I mean,
cool.
It's probably.
So I guess you're all crossing the bridge now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pat the horse's haunch kind of like in the direction of where I saw the guy go. Like go.
Yeah, cool.
Go see. Go find.
No, the horse is like waiting. It's like it's been told to wait here.
This has happened often to you.
If the seer saw that he needs to fight new people on the bridge, I'm sure he'll find his way back to the bridge where he needs to be.
Certainly. I'm not sure
Does he even have a horse? Where is he going? Doesn't he need to be by the bridge?
Maybe it's for looks.
Well, it's a very pretty horse.
Okay.
I'm sorry, gang. I didn't mean to take up all the glory there. I was kind of hoping I could see each one of you show off all your skills.
No,
I apologize for that.
Don't apologize. That was very entertaining, and I did not want to fight that one. He seemed like a lot.
You would have taken care of him in 3 fewer swipes than I did.
No, you were fabulous. Very, very theatrical.
And it was so surprising.
So
Nobody
surprising.
would have known that anything was going to happen here. I was so caught off guard.
So caught off guard. I couldn't believe it.
It's just, I don't think anything has surprised me like that in a long time.
No. Don't you agree, Sir Crenshaw? It was so surprising.
I was equally unaware that anything was going to happen.
Yeah, we were.
So it's now the afternoon. You crossed the bridge successfully, and you're advised by these wranglers that it's probably from here, 2 more nights ride to the south, as in 2 days. Sorry, ride to the south, before you get to Awakening. So they say it should be a pretty clear run from here.
Fantastic.
So they say.
So if you had lost guard, obviously it comes back after a moment's rest, so you can take the guard back. So are you going to follow them to the south?
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. So that was the bridge. Wait, hang on. No, sorry. The bridge was here, and then you are now here. So you're traveling over this grassland. As the day starts to draw to a close. And just before the sun comes down, you come across a there's little streams and ponds in these grasslands, and one of the ponds that you pass is kind of like there's bubbles coming out of it, like you sometimes will see this if there's fish or something. And as you kind of look over to the bubbles, you see a fish's head. It's a pike, so a long kind of sharp-looking fish's head sort of pokes out of the water, and like it's kind of looking over the 4 of you as you ride past. And you feel like you can hear faint laughter coming from it, like a little cackling. Like,
Hello.
And it's kind of the pike kind of turns to look at you, and it's kind of like it's just snickering, it's just laughing at you like.
What's so funny?
Funny.
Yes, what's funny?
Funny. He's here for his crown.
Who?
And then he goes, boop, and he's gone back into the water.
Oh my.
Cool, and that's that. Unless you wanted to go further into this pond.
I don't go into strange ponds, but other people might.
Are you going to ride on?
I mean, I'm very tempted to just jump into a random pond.
I mean, that's why I'm like, I'm not going to put that past.
And we all look at Bassam like, are we going into the pond?
We're like, all of us just turn at once.
I think she's already halfway. I wanna go into the pond.
So when you say go into, how exactly? Stepping in, or are you trying to reach in to grab the pike?
Is it like deep enough to fully submerge, or is it like more like swampy? Like
it's hard to tell. It's not like a huge pond. From looking at it, you would guess it's like waist deep.
Yeah, I think I'd like to step in and then submerge myself to see if there's anything there, or if the pike is still there.
Okay. You submerge yourself, and you hear cackling under the water. You hear this kind of bubbling laughter, and as you kind of look around in the murky water, you can see there's like maybe 20 of these little pike and other small fish, and they're just kind of like lightly bobbing with their mouths open in a kind of laughing motion, and they're just laughing in your face.
Do they say anything else about the king? I'll like mime putting on a crown.
That makes them laugh more. They are now laughing more sort of vigorously.
Fun.
I'll pop back up and say, well, they're having a very good time down there.
That's good.
So you are now wet.
Yeah, just in gross pond water.
So damp now. Do you want to I actually have something. I have this like hush cloth that like makes things quiet, if I put it around it, but I also imagine it can be used for drying.
It also functions as a cloth. Yeah.
It also functions as a cloth.
That's so
So-
funny.
And I'm just gonna kind of put it around Basin, like, there you go. So,
Well, I think it's starting to look more and more like this Beast King might have returned, or is planning to.
yes, they said he's here for his crown, so that does seem like a plan.
Is the crown, and I point at the jar. Have we like looked in the jar yet? The pot.
I assume that you would have looked in it at some point. There's nothing inside. It's a hollow pot.
If I put my arm in, do I feel like a bottom, or do I just keep going?
Awesome.
It feels, as far as you can tell, it feels like a normal pot. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's no weirdness going on with its like geometry, I guess.
Fair enough.
Thank God someone did it.
Great. That's a great call, though. Yeah, I wouldn't have.
Good try.
Yeah.
Good try. It does. I mean, yeah. Sorry, Yes, I've said enough. Yeah, there's nothing unusual about its shape or makeup, as far as you can tell. Cool. So the sun's going down. You are here. So you're on the edge of these grasslands, setting up camp again for another night.
The final night, right? Tomorrow we're able to get there. Or theoretically.
They tell you that tomorrow you could get there if you galloped for the
They
final
would said
stretch.
we'd have to ride 2 nights, so it would be after this one.
Yeah.
Very good.
In fact, I'll just
Okay.
because Hex is an actual in-universe term because it's a Hex League.
Um,
He tells you that it's about 3 Hex Leagues away to the south. So that means tomorrow, essentially, you could get there before nightfall tomorrow if you galloped for one of those and moved 2. But it would tire your steeds out, but then they would recover that vigor when they're like in a proper stable. So assuming there is a castle at the end of it, that could be a good idea. Okay. So as you settle down for the night, you're up keeping watch again. Let's see who. So Crenshaw, as you are on watch and everyone else is sleeping safely, you hear well, first of all, I guess you notice that you're on this grassland, sort of rolling grassland, so it's quite easy to see quite far. You notice what looks like another campfire. It only really becomes apparent in the depth of the night. It looks like there's another campfire sort of over the horizon. Sorry, not over the horizon, just over sort of the crest of a hill.
Yeah.
So as you kind of go and sort of take a bit of a better look at it, you can see it's a little bit of a distance away, like maybe 100 meters away. But you can see there is it's kind of more like a bonfire. And you can see there is a bonfire and there's some sort of stone, like a standing stone next to it. So this isn't a bit that you passed on the way here. This is sort of ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
And there are around 5 or 6 figures dancing around this standing stone and around this fire, and they are crying out in revelry. You can't make out what they're saying, but they are dancing and shouting through the night. And you can just about make out the sound of their cries. And obviously you can see the bonfire and the standing stone, but you can't make out any more details from here.
Cool. I am going to call. I'm gonna use Spirit Call.
Oh, cool. So what does that look like?
Yeah. So I think I take the skeletal hand that's in like a waxen like translucent vial next to me, and I take it out and I put it in my hand as if I was going to shake it, and then we see this ghostly form like slowly emanate from it as a like sullen looking regal but like tattered visage starts to extend out from it.
Cool.
Pale and blue in the like almost as it was just catching the moonlight around us. And the first thing the spirit asks is it time to tell more of my story? I tell it not tonight, and explain that I want it to go over and listen and observe without being seen, and come back and tell me more about what they're doing.
Cool. So you can sort of, as you know, you can give it a single instruction, and they will perform that to the best of their ability. They can be invisible. Do you want them to invisibly observe?
I'd like them to be invisible once they head off. So yeah.
Okay. So the spirit, drifts off towards there, and you see it kind of fade away as it goes. And a short few moments later, it comes back. And is it a king? Did you say?
Yeah. I mean, it's a regal figure. It's a male regal figure. We can assume it's probably a king.
Okay, so the sort of the king's spirit comes back and says, they dance around a beast idol, breaking bones against the idol to keep the bone breaker at bay. They think they can protect themselves against the bone breaker, all brawn and no brain. They think breaking the bones keeps him at bay, but they're wrong.
Interesting. We can talk more about that tomorrow. I'll reach my hand out, and they'll slowly get sucked back into the reliquary.
Back into the hand.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll hang it back in my wrist.
So yeah, that's what he says to you.
Yeah. I'll wake up whoever's next on watch, because which we can internally decide, or if you have an idea, that's fine.
I was just going to randomly roll, but you can
roll
decide
randomly.
if you want.
That's fine.
I rolled. I'm still forgetting character names. Sorry, I rolled Prior. So that's B.
Do you feel Prior feels a shake on their shoulder, and I will catch Prior up on Prior up on the situation. It seems ill-guided but harmless.
Yes, we best not disturb them. And see, well, what if it does work for them, or at least makes them feel better?
Yes, even if it's ineffective, I don't know that it's worth dashing hope, and I don't know that they'll take kindly to having hope dashed.
Oh, a party or ceremony being interrupted. I'd rather not interrupt festivities. That just seems rude. But thank you. I'll be watching for this bone breaker.
Cool. So you're swapping for the watch then, and carrying on. Okay, so I guess throughout the night, whoever's on watch kind of keeps an eye on this scene from a distance, and it just kind of goes on through the night, and then eventually, as the sun starts to come up, let's say Bassam is on the last watch by my list. As the sun starts to come up, the revelers kind of like sort of exhausted, are starting to sort of head back, head off into the distance, and they're heading south. So they're heading in the direction that you would be heading later on, but they're kind of like a bit ahead of you, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But they've left the kind of the ashes of the bonfire and the totem. They've left that there. So it is now morning, and even though there was a bit of disturbance in the night, it wasn't enough to kind of stop your sleep. So you don't lose any clarity for that. But it is now the next morning. What's the plan?
If we go over and look at the totem, is this something that was built here, or is this a fix? Is it was like part of? You mentioned a standing stone. Like, is it part of the standing stone, or is it?
Yeah, so it's a. It looks like it's a big stone, so it's maybe like 12 foot tall.
Okay.
Standing stone, and it looks like it's sort of a. It looks like this stone was you would have to imagine already here. Like it's kind of like a tall, vaguely cylindrical stone, but it looks natural in shape. It's covered in kind of moss. There are some kind of carvings into it that kind of look like figures of animals. So there's something that looks like a wolf, from what you can tell, something that looks like a kind of like a paw kind of symbol. Just various like animal and like a bird at the top. There are like animal carvings into this big rock, but it looks like you would have to imagine they didn't bring this with them. It was already here.
Cool.
And as you said, as the spirit said, there are bones kind of crushed on the ground, like they've been smashed against this thing. Sort of bones now, like debris of bones scattered all across the ground.
Do we know kind of like what
Animal
type of
bones
bones?
or human
Exactly.
bones?
Exactly what I was thinking. Exactly.
Yeah, so looking through, some of them are obviously animal bones, like they're too small, like they might be like from a bird or something. So there's definitely some animal bones, but then some of them do look like human bones. You find fragments of what looks like a human jawbone. And then looking through it, there are some bones that look too big to be human, like they may be like either a cow or a horse's like leg bone. So it looks like a mix of human and various animals. And they've all been broken, I should say, in some way.
Yeah.
There might not be a way to tell, but on the human bones, can we tell if like the trauma was inflicted before it was thrown against us, or were these like people that I guess I'm like trying to see like, were these people probably murdered? Is there like signs of trauma on the bones, or is it just like, well, you know, they've been smashed against the thing? So
well, the one thing about the bones is they are all like very clean, like there's no meat left on these bones. So it certainly doesn't look like they were killed recently. It's impossible to tell what the cause of death would have been for these, but the bones have definitely been sort of cleaned, whether that's boiled or whatever, but or maybe they're just old, but there's no meat left on them.
What are we thinking? Is this something we're gonna have to be worried about later?
I don't know that it's helping, but it doesn't look like they killed someone for this purpose, so I don't know that it's hurting either.
All right.
Cool. So the rest of the group are getting ready to set off towards the castle. Are you still traveling as part of the group?
Yep.
So what's the plan? So you know that it's kind of 3 hexes away. Yeah. The Wranglers have told you that their plan is to travel normally for the first trek, it's called. So travel normally today, and then to set up camp one more night, and then travel to the keep the next morning. So basically they're going to continue their standard pace. Yeah. But if you wanted to, you could gallop one of these phases and get there by nightfall and avoid another night out in the wilderness.
We all look over at Clyde's horse.
I know. I was thinking, because it doesn't want to be rushed, does that fully mean I can't gallop?
I think it doesn't mean that you can't gallop. I think it just means it's going to not be happy about this.
Sure. And also it's like we're galloping, but we're not like rushing there. It's like this is a place we just kind of need to get to.
And
the horse,
they get to rest in a barn, and they get recover all their good stuff after.
And maybe it's more like it won't be rushed. Like when you're feeding it, it'll take its time to savor the oats, and when you're taking it to water, it'll take a nice leisurely sips. It just won't be rushed in its day-to-day life.
Yeah,
it can literally still gallop.
Yeah. Saying a human won't rush is probably also not. It's not the same thing as saying that human can't run.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah. I'm happy to gallop.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy to rush it today if everyone else is.
So are you going to? I mean, the obvious thing I guess would be to trek for the morning and then gallop in the afternoon, so that you're not tired until you get there. Cool. So you're going to stay with the group for now. They're heading south into here on the map, and let's see what happens. That happens.
God, I hope we don't damn these people to this bone breaker.
Right,
time-
we left them.
Yeah.
We're
Last
heading
time we
in
heard
this
about
direction
spooky get
too,
attacked
so
that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll know
Yeah.
if they don't make it.
We will, maybe. Well, they're
So you're
behind
trekking-
us.
Oh, the revelers were ahead of you.
Oh no, we mean the horse people.
Oh yeah, you're kind of together, but I guess you're probably leading. I guess. Although no, I don't know. They know the way, I guess.
Yeah.
So
But
you're
once
probably
we gallop past them, I mean, we'll
I
have
see, I
left
see.
them behind to God knows what.
Well, I mean, the unfortunate thing is this question may be moot soon enough, because as you are traveling, you notice the steeds are like restless, and you kind of put it down to, oh well, maybe they know that we're nearly at our destination, so they're just eager to get to a proper stable, get some proper straw and hay and whatever horses need. But then as you're going to go over these rolling hills with kind of thorny shrubs, all at once, all of the horses that you're with start to rear and buck, and that no matter how tightly you hold on, you are each thrown to the ground from your horse. So to start with, you're each going to take d6 points of damage from being thrown to the ground. I will go around in order. So this will probably this may just be enough to tell me if this takes you below your guard, basically, is what I'm saying. So Tony, you can take 4 points of damage.
Okay. Does armor count for this or just?
Yes, armor would count for this, yeah. So what does 4 do for you, Tony?
I take 2 to my guard. I mean, I'm fine.
Okay, that's fine. And then we'll do Clyde next. 4 points of damage to Clyde.
Yeah,
I think you're okay.
I'm still in guard. Yeah, I can't really go below guard on a d6.
And then Prior, 5.
Oh yeah, I'm down. That was all my guard.
Oh no, so what does that mean? So you've got armor.
I've
How much
got
armor do you
one. I've got 1 armor and 4 guard.
Oh, so you're taken to exactly 0.
Exactly 0.
Well, the beauty of that is
You get a scar?
you're not down, but you are going to get a scar.
Yay!
So we'll come back to you.
Alright.
We'll do Bassam. I can't internalize this name. First, 3 to you.
what have I done? That is only 1 to my guard.
Okay, so you're fine. So the scar that you have, let me check the table. So the rest of you, you're kind of thrown to the ground, and it's painful and annoying, but you're not like wounded from it. Meanwhile, Prior, those sort of thorns that I told you about, you are thrown into a heap of thorns, and you feel the back of your head, you land on your back, and the back of your head clatters against a rock, and you are dazed and stunned. So you're going to lose 6 points of clarity.
Jesus! And I was already down.
So what's your new clarity score?
Well, what are we all still counting the bad night of sleep prior?
Yeah, you haven't recovered that yet. 2. That's okay, as long as it's not 0.
2.
So you are dazed and probably concussed, but it's you're not like knocked out or anything. You're fine. The good thing is, so what's your maximum guard?
My maximum guard is 4.
So you will increase your guard, because sometimes scars increase your guard. So you can gain d6 to your maximum guard.
Thank God.
As you're toughened up by this humiliating experience.
Wow,
Astounding.
That's cool. I like that.
It
So what did
doubled
you-
my guard at least. Now it's an 8.
So you're on guard 8 now.
Nice.
But just a little concussed.
Yeah, concussion makes it. That's a weird case where concussion is made you stronger. normally the idea is that like you learn from the combat, but I guess this has just made you really like pissed off, and now you're going to be a tougher knight. As you kind of come to your senses, you can see that the other riders as well, they've been thrown off their horses, and the war horses they were transporting, they're all rearing as well, and all the horses are stampeding off to the south, absolutely galloping at full pelt, and even the limping steed is galloping enthusiastically south. And Barnaby, he's running after them, and the old man's like, Barnaby, leave them, they've gone. And he's like cursing at the horses as they run away.
But they're headed in the direction of awakening.
Yeah, they are heading in the direction you were traveling, but they are galloping full pelt there without you.
Fun times.
So you are. Which hex was this?
That is where we moved in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is where you are. So yeah, galloping is now not an option.
No.
Wow.
And it is now the afternoon.
Wow.
So I guess the Wrangler he explains to you that it looks like we're all in this together. Hopefully someone near to awakening will see him and bring him in. But what was it that startled them? Did you see anything?
I was having a bad feeling about this. I know you keep saying it's a story, but I mean, the closer we get, the more and more things that happen. This Beast King is always biting at the back of my mind. I'm worried about it.
So you are on foot and you're sort of trudging along. I guess you're continuing in the same direction.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we'd be following the horses at this point, or whatever, wherever the direction they went.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they headed off like into the woods this way.
Yeah.
Which they tell you is the direction towards the holding. And yeah, it's getting dark, and there's no sign of the holding yet as night starts to fall. So you can continue to travel through the night. What happens if you travel at night is you are essentially traveling blind. So there's a chance that you will end up getting diverted in a different direction, and you will also lose some spirit because it's spooky. but in desperation it could be done, but there's as much chance you're going to end up in the wrong direction.
And
really.
It's just so I just feel like we have to be like on top form when we arrive at the capital, because something's gonna happen.
Mhm,
You know?
mhm.
Yeah.
So you're going to set up camp?
We'll set up camp.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to think that a lot of the camping gear is probably on the horses.
Camp, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you've got enough stuff to like make a camp, but it's slightly less comfortable than normal. And camping is never comfortable, but you're able to make a fire. Luckily, the night is pretty quiet, and other than the kind of like the chirping of birds, which sounds kind of mocking to you, as you're sort of sat there without your horses, it's an uneventful night otherwise. And as the sun comes up, the weather is slightly clearer. There is a little bit of blue present in the sky, and you can just about make out, just over the horizon, you can see the top of some kind of tower or citadel in the distance. And Barnaby kind of points and he says, "There we go, that's awakening. We can be there. We'll be eating lunch over there, proper hot food."
That's good to hear, I guess. As long as the tavern hasn't been taken over by beasts, I guess that's pretty good for us.
I'm a little concerned it's going to be interesting.
Definitely.
But
Okay,
I'll
so
be there.
you're traveling on foot then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it takes a good portion of the day, but by the time afternoon rolls by, to do one last check. Okay, you are getting close enough now that you can see the holding properly. So what you see in the distance as you approach, the dominating feature is this huge kind of tower, this citadel at the center of the walls, and the tip of the tower is kind of like it's shining with. It looks almost like a lighthouse, like it's shining with light, but you can see that it's just the way the sun is catching through it, and it's got this kind of stained glass sort of ceiling, a roof almost to the citadel, and there are these high walls surround the town itself. It's pretty small, and it's right on the coast. It's like on the sea, basically, in a kind of outcropping of rock that kind of goes out into the water. And yeah, as you get closer, you can see that there is as you get closer, you finally start to hit like actual trails leading towards the holding. So there's an actual kind of road you can walk along. And there is a bridge going over the last little bit of the sea. Will take you over into the holding itself through the large gates. And as you get there, you can just about make out in the distance. You can see the horses, and they are gathered around this bridge on the sort of the land side of the bridge. And they're sort of stood either side of the entrance to the bridge, and sort of marching across the bridge, you can see what looks like a large lion. And it is like majestically walking over the bridge and into the holding. And as it sort of steps through the kind of the portcullis in the distance, you see the horses sort of very orderly, one by one, follow the lion in. And yeah, I wonder if that's a good place to leave.
That feels like a great place.
For today's session.
That's great. That's really great.
That's perfect.
Look at you landing it right at under 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So dramatic.
That's pro GM stuff there. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do a little stars and wishes real quick. We just been playing Mythic Bastionland with Chris. This is a 2-part stream, so we'll be back at whatever 10 a.m. Eastern U.S. coastal time is for you tomorrow in the U.S. That's what time we're doing it. Varies from person to person, place to place, but that's when we'll be here. Continuing to find out what's happening in Awakening. Stars and wishes for folks who aren't familiar. Stars are things that stood out to us in play, moments with a character, beats of the narrative, other things like that we want to call attention to that just really did something for us. And then wishes are things that we hope happen next time. Does anybody want to go first?
I can go.
Yeah.
Stars for Chris. For the game. It's a cool game. I especially love just like the atmosphere and the vibes. I really loved the night on the bridge. And what is the saddest thing that ever happened to you? Perfect opening. I'm just gonna go up to people and ask that of them now. It felt like both like very like jarring and funny, but also like extremely Arthurian to me. Like, yeah, that's just how it is. Just a forest full of knights asking you way too personal questions. To Robin, for the big swing of the American Night, very great. Also I'm gonna push you off the bridge. That was a very fun story beat, and the narration of your weapon and how you like use that creatively was very cool. For B, I love the little cloth, and I just love how you like make sure that everybody's involved and like give questions to pull characters back in, and that's just a very lovely way of playing and like seeing that care in action. And to Tony, I really love the summoning the dead hand and then getting the payoff to see the summoning. That was both very smart and tactical and really cool descriptions. Very cool to see. For wishes, I want to see what happens with this weird beast king and how the pot and like all of the strange hints that we have gotten up until now, how they're all gonna fit in how we defeat this beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can go next.
My gosh.
Yeah, I would say. Chris, the what's your saddest thing? Also, like the vibe of this is a physical trial, but like here's this little moment of intimacy between knights. Like, is such a top level. Like everybody else sees one thing, like, you know, you're getting this very close up of another thing, but also just the immediate stakes. You started us out on water both times. I don't know if that's like a Chris classic, but it is like, what do you do with the boat? How does the boat work? Is a really great way to start things off. And that initial early choice of, are we going to try to make this boat work or not? Like, is a really tactical problem that I think makes players start thinking about the world in a very different way than, oh, you're in a fight, or you're in a tavern or whatever. It's a very practical problem that I think really starts help guiding things early on. It was great. Robin, the just really leaning into the Dragoon vibes, with like tossing the trident, bringing the trident back, and then like same thing on the bridge, pulling it to, and then like dropping it intentionally, like really gorgeous. Be like so great to play with you, always. Like, you are always bringing people in. I love getting to have like a little moment between our nights where we're just both like, this is probably fine, right? Like they're weird chanting over there. What could happen? And then Jazy, like, getting to play with you. I also like I feel like your night out of all of them like felt the most alive in a lot of ways. Like a lot of the choices you were making, the describing like the sliding across the ground, like you were making a lot of great just fun character choices that really just did a lot of embodiment on just a very little amount of like detail. I loved it. And so wishes. I mean, we all want to know what this is up to. I'm excited to find out how connected all the things we've discovered are. I mean, like I've been piling up my poster pilots and color. I think we have 2 Omen sets going around, but I'm not sure. It could be more. We'll find out.
Be more.
Shall I go next?
You're welcome to.
So for me, I mean, stars for everyone is, I think, just engaging in the kind of the mythical night thing of wanting to investigate things, but also it didn't feel like you were just throwing yourself at everything. Like, I know that we said about like, oh, you want to press the button, but it felt like it was a choice for you to like engage and investigate things. So that was really fun to see from my side. The other thing from my side is my personal favorite thing in running this game is me knowing exactly which things connect to which myths and watching. It's really a detective game as much as an adventure game, like watching the knights trying to work out like, well, which things are connected. And I won't tell you what's connected yet, but you're kind of right and wrong, which is good. That's the perfect balance to be. 1 second. In terms of wishes, in fact, tell me if this is out of order, but like one thing that I wanted to ask before we go on, which will affect the wishes, is I'm excited to see what happens next. You do have a choice, which is we can pick things up tomorrow, like right now. We could pick things up at the start of the next season, which would mean that a number of months had passed. So you would obviously get filled in a little bit with like what's happened with this lion, but we would then be carrying on the story in the next season. Or we could go to the next age, which is like jumping forward like a generation, and dealing with maybe the ramifications of what's happened with this event over a longer course. We don't have to commit to that now, but I think what we'll do is we'll come back to this conversation at the start. No, don't do this because I'll need to think about it. I think we do need to decide whether we're going to come straight back in, whether we're going to come back like a season later, or whether we're going to come back an age later. My personal recommendation would be, I think probably one of the first 2 makes more sense for this. So I think either we come straight in and carry on the story now, or we sort of do a little time skip and you're dealing with the ramifications of what's happened and what's continuing to happen. So I don't know, do we want to do like a show of hands, do you think?
Let's let the other 2 share their wishes, and then we'll do a
yes,
final
I
vote
am
at the
jumping
end.
ahead.
You're good.
We'll come back to this, so we'll think about it.
It's good to be able to think about it for a minute or 2 while they do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
B. Robin.
I'm willing. Yes, I am always excited to tell people how cool they are to play with. Chris, this is a gorgeous game. This is beautiful. I've never played this before. And as soon as I opened up the PDF, I was like, oh, this is my shit. This is really I love the mechanics that you've put in. I love the lore. It's so like it is very Arthurian. Like I believe Jazy said it's very like this feels like being in like not a pastiche of one, but like we're just in an Arthurian legend. It's really cool. And you really balance that kind of absurdity and like grand mythos, like really what like a talking fish laughing at us is so silly, but it feels very right. It feels very right and good. Like, and that on top of an incredibly scary creature in the woods that's definitely not a lobster. Like that's I don't know. Like and life and death like always kind of being like an ebb and flow of like this Jazy jumped into the pond and didn't die. Like and that was I had no idea if that was gonna be deadly or not because you've set it up in this perfectly unpredictable but fairy tale way. So I love it. And how many nights you have? Y'all, if you don't have this book, there's 72 nights that are like full ass character like playbooks. Like there's 72 of them. It's bananas. And they all have their own. It's crazy. It's really good. I love it. Fabulous job, Chris. Tony, I am so delighted to play with you again. An absolute delight. Because you are always somebody who like puts in like really deep lore into your characters, but just slides it in so casually. It's just like it's because you know you do that and you always make it like you take one piece of the mechanics and you're like, I'm gonna make this a sad story, and I'm like, fuck yeah, you are. Like the king coming back. Is it time to tell more of my story? You didn't have to do that, and that was awesome. That felt right and good and beautiful. Just so cool. Such a cool way to use that power. I knew as soon as you're like, I have the hand of a dead king. I'm like, oh, you and your body parts.
Me and my body parts.
You and your body parts.
Give me a little body part to put in my character sheet. I'm pretty happy.
Honestly, I'm sensing a theme. I'm sensing a theme. I fucking love it. Jazy, once again, a joy to play with you again. You are an absolute delight. I love that the first introduction we had to this character was just holding a knife to the singular rope that held our boat and said, we're cutting it loose unless somebody stops me. Beautiful. That set the tone so perfectly. Like, what a swing. And the way you described combat was so fun. Like, it was very you were like really leaning into the vibe of like the fox. It was perfect. Just this like very sly, very unconcerned, like it was giving like mildly trickster, but also like the way a fox will just like jump into a hole face first, you know? It was really beautiful and I really loved it. Just an absolute delight. Tickled me to death. Robin, it has been fabulous playing with you for the first time. You are hilarious. Props as I think the only Southern person here. You're actually doing a pretty good job. So, okay, you're from Texas. I forget. Tony.
A type of the South. And so.
Yeah, a type. But no, this is I'm gonna give you props as one of the Americans on here for taking an absolutely bananas swing in an Arthurian legend game to be like, can I just do whatever I want with my accent? Can I just do whatever? Can I have license from where I'm from? And honestly, it works. It really works. It works for this character. It like at first I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And now I'm like not even clocking it. I'm like, yeah, that's just Clyde. Like less than 10 minutes in, I was like, yep, that's just who they are. Like it was astounding. And the fact that you responded to this, like, what's the saddest thing that's ever happened to you? Like that was so perfect. Weaving in a living creature that is in the party right now. It made me worried for your horse running off with the Beast King. I was like,
I know.
It's not Clyde's horse. Anything but Clyde's horse. That's all they had. Like, it was so good. And just like the constant use of the trident recall, like that's really fun. That's again leaning into your playbook mechanics. Like that was so cool that you don't forget that. Like you don't forget you have that. And that's just a star for the whole group. You all were so cognizant of what you were playing, and it was so beautiful. I love this. I'm excited to see what happens next. This is crazy. This is a beautiful game. And everybody go look at the art in the game, please. I could just sit there and look at it like forever. It's amazing. But that's me.
Perfect. Well, following that, no, true. Jazy, the character, was so, you know, as B was just saying, was so like immediately established and so weird. I like that, like, it's like, oh, there's a laughing fish, and then everyone turns to you, and you're already doing it. It's like it was so grand, like such a flavorful moment, and everyone kind of knows who your character is. It was really grand. Tony, with the thorns, and having your character be like the strategist, almost like stood in the back and watching everything, was really good. And also being able to go over to the you having the scene with this old woman, which I keep seeing you writing down like all of the riddles that are being stated in preparation to solve these little puzzles. Be such like such an honor to play with you. I'm so excited for our characters to hang out and chat, and that's actually a big wish of mine. Is I'm really excited to see what happens. I also am excited to have all of our knights talk just amongst themselves and like have like strategy, like, okay, what are we doing here, and like kind of establishing relationships. We did a little bit of it today, but really excited to see how that to see a little bit more of that. Chris, it makes me feel sick. I'm actually going sicko mode over this game. This shit's so hot. Everything is really grand. Truly, like pretty much everyone I know who knows anything about games is like, you haven't played Mythic Bastionland? Oh my god, you should. It's your shit entirely. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. And then today I'm like, oh, it's an Arthurian game about knights. Yeah, this fucking owns. It's so great. I'm real excited for tomorrow to have all of our guys keep talking. It's grand. And when it comes to what our votes are, if we want to jump like a season or a day, I actually think a season would be really fun. I think that'll be really neat. Especially considering we know kingdom shifts at the beginning of every season. It's like, well, we're all here now. How does that shift? Does the Lion King get up and walk to the next kingdom, or is the Lion King like, nope, it's here now. This is where we are. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that vote. Does anybody want to just go to the next day? Go forward a season, raise your hand. Go forward an age, raise your hand. The king raises his hand for age, but he gets outvoted.
I feel like season makes sense.
Season makes a lot of sense.
It's
also a
there are
fun
some
way to show
obvious
off
changes
that
that could happen, and
Yes.
we'll talk about it a bit next time. But like, you will still have agency in like what happens in that gap.
Cool.
But we'll talk about that next time. But yeah, I think that would be a cool thing to do.
Perfect.
Really cool. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I would normally talk about a lot of things. We're going to be back tomorrow. We've got cool stuff coming up. You should be a part of it. If you don't have a copy of Mythic Bastionland yet, you can go check it out at bastionlandpress.com. Or if you go to ttrpg.link/mythic, it'll take you over to the Bastionland Press collection on the +1 EXP site. Really just depends on where you're on the world, where you want to order that from. And until next time, we've never figured out a good way to end these streams. So we're just going to wave at the camera until I take us off air. Bye.